What is going on, boys? Welcome back to another episode of the MIGHTYcast, and I am here in Arizona at the Red Hawk Academy, joined by the former champion of the world, Sugar Sean O'Malley. My man, thanks for coming on the podcast. How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for coming out. I know I'm glad because we did the podcast before over Zoom, but it's always just, they're just so much more smooth, better in person, and appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how far we go back. I never forget when we did the first when we first hung out during the Fortnite tournament.
Yeah, California, LA, right?
Yep, California, LA.
You bought me. I think I got a cheeseburger or some fries.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to you for sending me that retirement video. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
I was totally caught off guard.
Demetrious Johnson, DJ, Fortnite buddy, gamer buddy, congratulations on your retirement. You're an absolute legend, a stud.
Sometimes you never know who's, we've hung out before, but sometimes, you got big, you were top of the world driving Ferraris, big chains, you get the REM on your wrist. Yep. I don't know if you remember your boy, so I appreciate you sending that video. I appreciate that.
Dude, you're the GOAT. And dude, moving around with you today, it's like you're so fast and technical, and you're strong, and your technique's so good. It's like it makes sense to why you were so successful in your career. Just even moving around today with you a little bit, I was like, holy fuck, dude. Like, yeah.
Thanks, man.
That was fun.
Hey, you got me though. You got me twice with that nice old Darce. I loved it. I think it's when you hit me with that, I was like, okay, good. He's working on attacking.
Yeah.
Right? I always think it's good for people to attack all the time and force the attacks when somebody's trying to shoot in. Yeah. So I was happy you got me with that. And
if you're not, you're getting attacked.
Exactly.
You want to be attacking, or you're on the defense, and ideally you're not, defending too much.
Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful I got the opportunity to vibe out and move with you because, now that I do what I do now on the analyst and I'm talking about the void, I get to see like, wow, that's what makes you so damn special. You're granted we only worked one part of the game, but like your feints, that teep, oh my God, you hit me with that teep and I was like, okay, I can't allow that happen again.
Yeah. No, yeah. Why are you done? I mean, is there like you've probably talked about it before, but even just moving around with you, I'm like, bro, you could fucking compete at the highest level still, like easily.
Yeah, man. Honestly,
do you ask yourself like, why am I done, or do you know why?
I know why I was done because I just didn't enjoy it anymore.
The fight camps or just
the fight camps, and then getting ready for a fight, and then I felt like when I would focus on one person for 9 weeks, I felt like it stunted my growth as a martial artist because I'm just focusing on him the whole entire time. I can't, and then I fell in love with crossing the void, getting on people, and then now I get more enjoyment of coming out here and training with you, right? Like, imagine if I was in the UFC and I was in the bantamweight division, there'd be no way of opportunity for me and you to vibe out. Yeah. Because when I come here, you'll be like, I'm not gonna give you any inch. So now, like I said, I find more enjoyment. I'm out here training with you, no ego, just seeing how you move. Okay, I'm trying to sweep. Can I sweep? Okay, I come up. Oh, his guard's really good. He's flexible. That fills my cup way more than trying to be the best in the world. Yeah.
I mean, you already did it too. You've been the best. It's not like your legacy's cemented. So I guess I could see that, but I'm like, fuck, dude. You could still do the thing, but you live a sweet life now too. Your YouTube's fucking popping. You got a family. You're traveling. Like, what more could you ask for? I guess if everything's fulfilled, there's no point to continue. Fighting's, like you said, training camps are fucking brutal.
Oh yeah.
They're like, I mean, I'm glad I still enjoy them while I do, but when I get to the point where I'm like, I don't want to do a training camp, like that you can't not want to do a training camp and go through a successful training camp because they are brutal.
Yeah, because it's like you said, it's a day and out grind. You're exhausted all the time, and then you're constantly focused on that one mission. Is okay, this is what this guy does. Okay, we got to make sure. It's stressful, and at one point in time, I did enjoy it. Yeah. But now, at the end of it, like I'll never forget hitting the pad super hard, and I was like, I'm fucking done working hard. I am true. I don't want to do it anymore. And Matt said it too. He goes, you can still fight. I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I was just moving fast. And he looked at me. He was like, and I was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. He was like, that horse still got some more, life in it. And I was like, nah, man. I think I'm I'm done. And I think that's important, like to go out when it's like, I'm done. You see a lot of guys like
you and GSP are really the only ones that kind of fucking did it.
I think Khabib did too, but
yeah,
Khabib,
I guess,
you know, unfortunate situation for him when he retired.
Yeah.
But yeah, me, GSP, you see guys like, oh, I'm not gonna let this sport retire, but it's like, you know, you're 37. It's like I lost this one. I never became champion.
Yeah.
I think it's my last one. So I felt for me it was the perfect time to go out where it's like there's nothing left to prove.
Yeah.
And I'm still healthy enough to be able to move.
That's nice.
Right? And move around with you. If I was fucking broken or
Yeah.
whatever, and I come in and I'm like, man, I really want to work out with Sean. And I'm like, I can't keep
back hurts.
My back hurts.
Yeah.
So that was very important to me. So I'm grateful I went out when I did, and I'm still healthy enough to move around with you.
Dude, yeah. No, that's goals. Like I want to be able to, you know, get out. I feel like it's tricky. Like, cause if you still want to, like you're not lucky, but you got to a point to where you didn't really want to, but some guys still want to, but they just can't.
Yeah.
And that's when you see 4, 5, 6 fight losing streaks, and it's just sad because they just want to.
Yep.
But they're just, I mean, I guess is that, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
But I feel like you're surrounded by great coaches, good people,
Yeah.
right? You got people who've been with you since day one,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
I talked to Sono.
Yeah.
I talked to, you know, your producer
Yeah.
for your YouTube channel, which you're killing it, by the way.
Appreciate it.
I think it's always important to be surrounded by people who want the best for you, right?
Yeah.
And I feel too like, hey man, like we don't need to do this anymore. You got plenty of money in the bank. Let's just ride off on a sunset in your little pink Ferrari.
Do you think you having your YouTube channel makes it easier for you to not like because you put so much passion, so much effort into the YouTube that it helped you be done with actually competing fight? Because you compete in the gi, you still train like a full mixed martial artist, but now you have like a passion to build your YouTube channel. Does that help?
Yeah, I think it does. I told myself, you know, there was a point in time in my career when I was after I got that fight at Adrian, I was okay. I think I'm done, and I was like, but I want to make sure I'm not gonna miss it. So I gave myself a full year of, you know, I've always stayed busy with the kids, you know, helping out with that. But I was like, I'm gonna give a full year of trying to focus on the next transition after fighting. And I was like, if I put the same energy and thought process into whatever I do, I should be successful.
Yeah.
And so that's what I put all my heart and soul into the YouTube channel, and now it's paying off.
Fuck yeah.
You know, we have the MIGHTYcast, we have the instant reaction, we have the void breakdown, we have stuff coming down the pipeline. And it has helped, but I still like to be able to move, hit pads. I fucking miss that.
Yeah.
Like, I miss that, but I don't miss like, all right, you signed a dotted line. Hey, Sean, how you doing? You know, you're I don't fucking miss that, not one bit.
Yeah. And your protege, death sentence. That's good. Yeah.
What'd you think of him?
That guy's a character, bro. I want that confidence.
Dude,
I want that confidence.
that's what my wife says. She goes, you know, he has like an amazing confidence that men who are, you know, tall, gorgeous, or whatever, they don't even have a sliver of that. Of that. And she goes, I'm a fan. He won me over. Just
I want to see him on Love on the Spectrum.
Dude.
That'd be sick.
That would be fucking amazing.
That would be sick.
Oh my God. Netflix.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Have you watched that show?
Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my favorite shows.
Dude.
I pretty much cry every episode.
I want to go on a tea line. She says she will come on a tea. Like the girl who loves the tea.
Oh, yeah.
I was like.
The Tea Train? Madison?
The Tea Train,
Perry.
Yeah.
I love that show. I've watched all of those. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah. But I would love to see him on Love on the Spectrum. I never thought about that.
Sweet. Maybe we'd make your own Mighty on the Spectrum.
You know, these motherfuckers try to make me do that. They want to do a street beef, Ultimate Fighter. I was like, no. I think it'd be good with White Wolf, Static. You know, I think you need the right athletes to make it good.
I mean, the thing with YouTube is there's nonstop creative things that like there's something out there that no one's done yet. That could be, you know, like I don't know if you're a fan of Kill Tony.
Yeah, I love Kill Tony.
Dude, it's like he doing it so long ago, but it's like he created a live podcast where it's a minute, the interview. Like there's stuff out there that's never been done that's just waiting to be created. Like that you just never know.
Yeah. Death on the Spectrum. I
Death
think
on
about
the Spectrum.
All that Michael and Nick said they wanted
well,
to
I'm
do
sure
like
their
that.
brains are rolled right now.
I want to switch gears. I want to talk about your last fight with Merab. The biggest thing, what's your hip surgery, right? What did you get done to your hip? Because I heard from the boys, they said you had something with laryngeal labrum.
I tore my labrum 10 weeks before the fight.
And then what did they do to your surgery? Because I have a torn labrum, but my doctor says don't get it done because it never be the same. You got it done. You're moving great,
feels
phenomenal.
good. Yeah.
Like, what do they do? They just go in there, clean it out, rivets. What do they do?
So in 2018, I tore my right labrum. There's like most athletes have a partial tear in their labrum. Like if you MRI'd 100 athletes, 90% of probably have somewhat of a tear in the labrum. So it's not a required surgery. I felt mine 10 weeks before the fight. I felt something happen. I didn't really know what happened. I thought I had a bad groin sprain, or strain. So looking up on ChatGPT, like, I'm like, fuck, I have grade fucking 17 groin strain or some shit. And finally got an MRI. 2 weeks go by. I'm like, this motherfucker's not getting any better. So now we're 8 weeks out from the fight. I get a MRI, go to the doctor. He said, it's torn, you need surgery. I said, so if I go through the fight and it tears worse, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? He said, it's just gonna be painful. We're gonna fix it after the fight regardless. So it doesn't matter how much worse it gets, because it's not gonna. You still can fight. Like I'm just dealing with pain. So I was like, I can deal with pain for whatever. Didn't have a terrible camp. Wasn't able to do what I've been able to do this camp. I wasn't able to grapple like the session we had just now. I didn't have like any of those last camp. I wasn't able to grapple. Like I wanted to.
Gotcha.
Like if someone was in my guard and I put a butterfly in, like it was painful, very painful. So last camp wasn't ideal. Still, got some good work in. Overall, in my mind, I was gonna go out there and knock Merab out. I was confident, went into the fight. Don't regret anything. It is what it is. It was weird having surgery scheduled a few days after a fight, like pre not getting an injury and then getting surgery after, but being like, okay, I'm going into this fight and then getting surgery after. That was a weird little mental thing. But yeah, still confident. We went into that fight, walked into the cage like I was gonna knock this motherfucker out. The fight played out the way it played out, and didn't knock him out.
Well, that was the thing I found fascinating, is that you're like, I'm actually grappling this camp. To the previous camp, I didn't do any grappling. I'm like, you fucking out of your mind. But now it makes sense, because your labrum was torn and you weren't able to do any grappling.
Yeah, it's not ideal going in. It's not ideal going in there against Merab. I mean, like, he's probably considered one of the best bantamweights of all time right now. His resume, fucking, it's giving me reminiscent of when I fought Aljo, who was at the time considered the greatest bantamweight of all time. And I walked into that cage, had a rib injury. It's like it sucks. There's always an excuse for going into a fight, but it's like that's the fight game.
Exactly. A lot of the fans don't realize. Like, I remember when I was fighting WC, Antonio Benuelos, he had a broken hand, and as you know, when you go into fight week, they're like, the doctor checks you out, and he goes, anything hurt? You're like, nope. But in reality, he had a broken hand. He goes, I'm about to get fucking this surgery covered because there was no insurance. But that's just the nature of the beast of a grueling training camp, right? Because you got to cover the wrestling, you got to cover the jiu-jitsu, you got to cover the boxing, you got to cover the Muay Thai. And if you skip on any one of those, or you get injured in any one of those, and it's like, great, now you have to go in a fight injured, because that's how you make your money.
Yeah, it's fucking, fighting's wild. It's a wild sport, and it's like pulling out just does not sound. It's like for me to pull out of a fight would have to be like, I can barely walk to the cage. Like I don't like the idea of pulling out of a fight. So I was like, there's just no way I'm pulling out of the fight for either one, the Aljo one or the Merab one. But yeah, I'm getting it's like I'm counted out heavily this fight, which was the same as the Aljo fight. And I'd rather be in this position than in the position like, oh, you're gonna kill this guy, you're gonna smoke this dude. That would suck. I hate that. Because it's a fight, and it's so fighting's so unpredictable, and anything can happen. So I think Merab has way more pressure on him, because everyone's like, oh, you beat him 9 months ago. How is he supposed to beat you now? I could beat that motherfucker, and I know I can. And it's like, I put in the work, and I have the self-belief, I have the skill set, I know I can beat Merab, I know I will beat Merab, and it's like, I get to go and prove that to the world. It's just like, I remember the Aljo fight, Dana after the fight asked everybody that was in the interview room who actually thought Sean was going to win. There was one guy from Montana, one of the interviewers or journalists, that said that he thought so. But so I'm getting it's going to be like that.
Well, I think the interesting thing about this matchup going into the second one is, I always refer back to the first fight, and there was a part I've come to enjoy listening to the cornermen, right? And I'll never forget when Tim sat you down, he goes, hey, we're almost done.
Dig deep, buddy. We're almost done with this. Dig deep.
It's gonna be all right. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, why did he say that, you think?
I think he was telling me, hey, there's 5 minutes left. Like, there's only 5 minutes. We're almost done. Like tough it up. Whatever you're going through, we're almost done. Like, there's 5 minutes left. Gotcha. But he got a lot of shit for that. But I mean, for like even the Peter Yan fight. Hey, throw the right hand, like feint the right hand, throw the knee up the middle.
Yep.
Boom, cuts him.
Yep.
Going into the second round. Hey, feint low, throw the left hand. Boom, rocked Peter. Tim's done such a good job in the corner, and that one I think just got interpreted. Hey, we're almost done. 5 minutes. Like.
Was almost like something was wrong, like you're injured, you know what I mean? And that's why I kind of took it like maybe something like Sean went into injured and he was like, hey man, like we're almost done. Like I can tell you were battling, you're fighting through it. Yeah. Like I never forget when I went to go fight Adriano the first time, Matt was not happy about how the training camp went because of COVID-19. And he goes, you're gonna have to fight your way through this. And I ended up getting knocked out. He goes, I wasn't happy about it, but I felt that's what Tim was like, hey, like you're battling this, you're trying to fight through whatever's going on. We're almost done, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, people got him shit for that, but then in the 5th round, I almost went and finished him.
Exactly.
So it's like maybe that helped me almost finish him. So, but yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I do. Being in the corner, it's funny. Like I enjoy listening to the corner work too. A lot of times you hear panic. The coaches are just like, okay, keep your hands, the right hand, like just trying to say something to say something. Yep. I don't know if they know. It's like the camera's right there too, so they're trying to sound smart, but they don't really know what to say. It's like...
My favorite is Leon Edwards' corner. You got to get your head out of it. But that's what helps him. And then you saw one time when he fought, it was just totally calm and chill. Yeah. And that's like my favorite thing is like listening to the corner, man, to see how the interaction is between the athlete and the coach. Yeah. Like, is there a mutual, or are they fighting each other, or are they on the same page or on different pages? So that was one of the things that really piqued my interest. Like, I'm going to ask Sean about that.
I don't want to be yelled at. Like the first 30, 40 seconds, I'm closing my eyes, catching my breath, getting my heart rate down. Like whatever you're saying, I might hear it, but I'm focused on getting my breath down. Like that's more important than you telling me corner advice right now is me getting my heart rate as low as possible and recovering as much as I can in a minute. So like that's what my focus is on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm excited for this next fight because I feel like you said this time, like the first thing I noticed when I came to the academy, I said, oh, you look strong. Yeah. You got some muscle on you. Yeah. Right? Where before, I'm not saying, you said it before, you're kind of, leaner. Yeah. But this time, I'm like, okay, he's actually strong. Your core looks strong. So it looks like you're more prepared this time than you were the last time.
100%. I mean, I got surgery October right after the fight. And then like the first 8 weeks, all we did was lift. Like upper body stuff. I couldn't do too much. Physical therapy with my legs, but we just lifted since basically surgery. Like I've been able to lift consistently. And that last fight I wasn't able to do much with my hip. Like I could have lifted more upper body, but we definitely didn't. But yeah, I've been actually lifting a lot more. But really you get that grappling strength from grappling. Like it doesn't matter how much fucking weight you're throwing around in the gym, but I've been able to grapple a lot more, and I feel way more like strong in grappling positions.
That's what's up. Yeah, I love how it translates. Lifting weights it keeps your body strong, but actually grabbing somebody and moving them, and it's just, that's like my favorite thing to do. That's why I do more gi grappling besides no gi, because you grab the gi.
Your forearms light up.
Last night, oh my God, I was like, everyone was like, slap hands. I was like, I can't, I can't lift.
Just looking like a Fruit Loop.
Yeah, it's so, I love the grapple.
I do like the gi. I don't have, it's hard to fit extra schedule, but I do enjoy the gi, and it's like it's almost a different sport. Like it's still jiu-jitsu, it's still the same concept, but it's like there's just extra the grips, and just it changes it so much. But I do, once I'm done with fighting, want to really dive into the gi like you have. It's so fun.
Well, you've done some jiu-jitsu competitions too. Like you submitted Takanori Gomi. Yeah. You've done a lot of no-gi stuff. So I would love to see you go transition to the gi as well, because I think it's something you can do, not get any brain damage. Yeah. Not that you have, like you've never been, you may rocked once, twice, if that.
Yeah. Peter cracked me, he countered me a few times.
But other than that, you haven't been like, you haven't, comatose. Yeah. So you haven't been knocked out completely, where it's like, hopefully he wakes up.
That's scary, dude. I definitely think about that. That shit's scary. Like,
it's not bad. You wake up. Don't worry about it. You wake up afterwards. You don't even feel anything. It's actually you're just like, what happened? What happened?
Yeah, but too many of them. Too many of those get scary.
Yes, it does. Okay, I want to ask you a question. So right now, when you look at the landscape of mixed martial arts, do you feel that mixed martial arts is in recession? I know you're not really on social media. Like you totally changed your mindset. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I wanted to get your your thoughts on this. A lot of people say that there's a recession going on right now in mixed martial arts, meaning that, there's an organization, UFC's thriving, everybody's making money. The organization's killing it, where the fighter pay is still where it is, right? And I always tell people, like, there's two sides of the coin, where in America, people are like, oh, we're in a recession. And I'm like, no, we're not, man. We're good. The ad revenue on YouTube's doing good. Sponsors are coming through. Then the other side of the coin, people are like, man, it's hard to keep a job. I feel like it's the same thing in mixed martial arts. You've been at the beginning of it, where you're making probably 10 and 10 from the Dynamite Contender Series. You blew, you grinded so well, and now you're making millions of dollars. You got your sugar brand. Like, how do you feel about the landscape right now in mixed martial arts? Do you feel like we're in a recession, or do you feel it's case by case, or do you think, like, you know what, my mindset's that, you have to grind and build your name to a point where you can start making money? Because there's an athlete, I didn't know the athlete's name, but he just retired, and he says, I refuse to fight for pennies. And he goes, there's just nowhere to go fight. He goes, nobody's paying like the UFC, PFL's not paying. He was just like, I'm done, because there's just nowhere for me to go.
Yeah, I think like, you got to bring value to the promotion. Like, people complain like, oh, I'm only getting paid 10 and 10. But it's like, in reality, it's like, who's there to see you fight? Your mom, your dad, your sister, a couple buddies. Like, no one really is gonna pay to, like, watch you on TV. It's like, you got to build your name up to bring value to the UFC, to whatever promotion you're in. So it's hard. It's tricky, because it's such a dangerous thing to go do and make money. Depends how you look at it. It's like, if you're making $50,000, which isn't like a ton of money, but it's also like, you're doing what you do. You love to do, and you chose to do this. If you don't want to make $50,000 a fight, go work at Target. Like, you're not. No one's forcing you to fight. Like, you don't have to fight. Like, I looked at it as like, I'm getting to. I don't have to work 9 to 5, and I'm gonna. I started out 10 and 10. I was lucky enough to have, Snoop Dogg blow up when I knocked out Alfred Kashakian, and I had, some sweet knockouts, so I had some steam. I was able to go from 10 and 10 to 20 and 20. Like, I was able to progress pretty fast, but I also there was times where I'm like, I feel like I should be making more, but I'm not going to make an issue about it, because that's not going to help anybody. I'm going to go out there and knock this next dude out. And then I will ask the UFC for more money. So it's like, I asked after Eddie Wineland, I was comfortable enough to go to UFC and be like, hey, like, is there any way I can make more money? Like, with that performance, hell yeah. Next fight, Cheeto Vera, get stopped. I didn't go back to the UFC and say, hey, can I make more money? I was like, all right, fuck, I need to go put on a performance, fight Thomas Almeida, put on a beautiful performance, knock him out 42 times, basically.
Papa.
So, go back to UFC. Hey, is there any way I can make some more, money? I really want to, continue progressing and pay. And like, that was a fucking beautiful performance. So, I was able to, I feel like I understood that you have to bring value to the UFC. You have to, and building your own social media up definitely helps. Like, I feel like I just understood that. And, it's not that hard to understand, but I understood it early enough to like, okay, I'm going to build myself as a brand. And I think that will help me make more money, outside the UFC and inside the UFC. So as far as in a recession, I don't know. I'm so laser focused, tunnel vision on myself. Like, I don't even take much thought into other people's situations right now. I'm just like, I fucking got Marab on my mind.
What's going on, guys? This episode of the MIGHTYcast is sponsored by Via Hemp. Now, Via Hemp is a high premium hemp company that have many products, from CBD gummies and even CBD gummies with THC, and it even has flour. Now, if you're trying to enjoy a good night, you want to have a good laughter watching a movie with the kids, sometimes I like to pop one of these bad boys and just have an elevated experience when I'm watching the movie. And if you guys want to see if Via Hemp is something that you might be interested in, check the link in the description below, or go to buyhemp.com/mighty, and that's going to help you save on your complete order. And like I said, they have different products. We have the Flow State here, which has 20 milligrams of CBD, 60 milligrams of CBG, B12, alpha, GPC, and lion's mane, which this one doesn't have any THC, so there's no psychedelic, effect going on there. So once again, go to buyhemp.com/mighty. It's going to help you save on your complete order. Shout out to Vi Hemp for sponsoring this episode of the MIGHTYcast. Now, let us enjoy the talk with Sugar Sean O'Malley. Yeah, it's funny because, me and Michael, we always talk about this, and I tell him that, like you said, if you were to work 9 to 5 at Target, as you said, you make a minimum wage, you might make $30,000, maybe $35,000, $40,000 a year. But if it's like, hey, if I can, train my ass off and I beat this guy up, I'm gonna make 20 and 20. I get to travel the world and all that stuff. We get in a mindset where it's like, hey, this is great money.
Yeah,
this is great money. And then when you look at it, you compare it to like NBA, NFL, and all that stuff. It's like, no, it's not. Like you guys are getting like pennies on the dollar compared to like what the organization. And it's not just UFC. It's other organization as well, because the gentleman, he said it's not just UFC, it's PFL, and it's all organizations around the world. And I always had to get the mindset of another athlete where you started from the bottom and now you're at the very top. Yeah. And you built your brand around that. Now, what made you see that was the right way to do it? Right? Because a lot of people, I even struggled. Like, I didn't start building my brand until, I was streaming on Twitch. Yeah. But then there came a point in time and I was like, okay, like, I'm not selling pay-per-views. Yeah. Nobody cares about the flyweights. And I remember Matt was saying, all you got to do is keep on winning, keep on winning, keep on winning. But I would never get more money. But then once I started building my brand and once I left the sport, that's when I started to blow up more. And I think social media got to a point like in 2020 was like when it just took off because COVID-19. Yeah. And then my brand was, massive. And then with the YouTube, it helped. But for you seem to figure that out at the very early stage of your career. Like the Sugar brand, like I'm sure you're killing it right now with endorsement, merch. Yeah. What was it that you realized like, okay, this is how I'm going to make a shitload of money outside of fighting?
Yeah, but before I answer that, I'll say too, because I thought about the NFL, NBA, baseball, all that for a long time. Like, why do they get so much money compared to fighters? And then you think about, it's like, okay, a series of 7 games. Think about that. How many times they're selling out that stadium? Oh, yeah. How much merch is being sold? How much revenue is being generated for just a 7-game series compared to like UFC, 12 pay-per-views a year, whatever it is. Yep. Like they're doing pay-per-view fucking stadiums or like sold out stadiums,
And that's one stadium here. Yeah. You have LA, you have New York,
it's everywhere.
Boston, everywhere.
Yeah. So they're doing like the money generated from those sports is probably way more than what the UFC's making. So and that helped me make feel better. It's like, okay, I'm making this many millions, but this NFL guy's making 35 million. It's like you can't compare yourself to other people, but then it's like, fuck, what I do is so it's like it's just as intense. I work just as hard, but it's like the UFC's not probably making as much. The UFC's not making as much money as the NFL.
Yeah, no.
Like, so it's just like it makes sense. It is what it is. But then to answer your second question, which was
what made you think about like this is the route I need to go. Like I need to build, because obviously I always tell people back in the day there was a point in time where you had Rich Franklin, Matt Hughes, GSP, Chuck Liddell, Tim Sylvia. You saw those guys walking on the street. You'd be like, there's Rich Franklin. Oh, there's Tim Sylvia. There's Chuck Liddell. Now, when I walk on the street, they say, hey, Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse. Or oh, Mighty Mouse, hey, what's going on? Or sometimes I'm like, hey, you're a UFC fighter. Yeah. They label me as that's the brand, right? Where now I tell me and Michael had this discussion. I was like, there's no point for the UFC to build the stars, because if they build the stars, then you're building that person's brand. Whereas if we just build the brand of UFC, everybody's gonna label you UFC fighter, UFC fighter, UFC fighter. But for you, when they see you, they don't say, hey, that's UFC fighter. I'm like, that's Sugar. Look at the hair. Look at the swag. Look at the pink Ferrari. You have been able to make yourself your own brand. Right? You have your own platform. Yeah.
I mean, even when I was 16 years old and I first started kickboxing, like I would sell, get $5 a ticket. So I was hustling. I wanted to be rich when I was young. I don't know what it was, but I wanted to make a lot of money. Like it wasn't even I felt like I had a knowing I was going to. I was going to do something where I was going to make a lot of money. I was 16 years old, have a kickboxing fight, trying to sell tickets, get $5 a ticket. So, I sell this many tickets, I get this much money. Oh, I can sell merch. Okay, so I buy this much merch, so I can, turn a profit and sell merch. So from 16, when I started fighting at 16, 17, 18 years old, I was selling merch and I was selling tickets. And like that led to me. I was just like looking for ways to make money. I would have my dad would help me write up a thing and a sponsorship thing, take it to local businesses, say, hey, do you guys want to sponsor me, blah, blah, blah. So I was doing that when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. And, you know, that kind of just translated into, Tim actually is the one that told me to get an Instagram when I moved down here. I think I was 18 or 19. He's like, hey, you got to get an Instagram. So I got an Instagram, and I don't know what it was that made me think of, I guess I always wanted to be different anyway. And I was like, okay, you know, I actually 6'9" was the hair inspiration of the rainbow hair. Like, because he was just a character. He was such a character. He was captivating. I was like, it's just like his hair was like, I don't know what it was, but I'm like, if I do my hair, people are gonna freak out. Like the first time I did my hair was the Eddie Wineland fight, and I go out there and not like the hair plus that knockout, that kind of a knockout plus hair was just like a recipe for success. And like the UFC loved the hair. Like everyone at the whole UFC was like, oh my God, everyone's talking about your head, just my hair. I came in and like I had to do so many extra photos and so much extra media just because I did my hair. I was like, oh, I'm onto something. So like every single fight was like a new hair. And so like, so that helped a lot. But it always comes down to the performances. I feel like that people want to see people get knocked out. Before I was in the UFC, I had a beautiful spinning heel kick knockout over Days of Nuzo. Like that was fucking huge. Alfred Kashakian on the Contender Series, that was a brutal knockout. Eddie Wineland, Thomas Almeida, the Chris Paiva or the Chris Montinho fight wasn't necessarily a knockout, it was a stoppage, but it was just like just fucking piecing him up. So yeah, I think it was, I wanted to make a lot of money, and I knew that I could make a lot of money outside the UFC. I still think, I mean, I still make, I don't know how exactly, but probably about the same amount of money outside the UFC as I do inside the UFC right now.
Crazy. That's crazy.
It is. It's wild to think about, like even saying it out loud.
But
like,
I will say it's amazing though, right? Because if you're at a point now, like you don't have to fight 2 or 3 times a year, right? You can be like, hey, I'm gonna put in an 8-10 week training camp, my heart and soul, go out there, put on the best performance in my career. Then I'm gonna focus on grinding. I don't need that extra check. I think that's what every athlete's dream is, where they want to be, right? Like for me, how I always, you know, try to one up myself, not one up, I strive for the next goal is like, my goal is like, can I make enough money from YouTube than I did when fighting, right? And so it's like, oh, I made this much more, you know, I don't need to fight. But for you to still be at the prime of your career at 30 years old, world champion, and you're like, I'm making more money outside the octagon. I don't need to step back in here, but I know
the reason I'm making that much money is because of the UFC. Like the UFC platform has, like, I wouldn't have this following without the UFC. So it was very mutual. Like I've done a lot for the UFC. They don't need me. At this point, I could probably be done fighting, live fine, whatever. So I don't want to say I need the UFC, but for me to get to where I want to go, I need the UFC. Like I need the UFC. UFC does not need me. I could quit tomorrow, and they have, you know, stars in the making. They have stars coming up. They have, you know, they don't need me at all. So I'm very, very grateful for the UFC, and I wouldn't make the amount of money outside the UFC on social medias if I didn't have that backing and that platform. And, you know, they're the best promoters in the world. So for me to be associated with the best promoters in the world, and I have a fight coming up and they're promoting me, like they're doing me a huge favor, and they're giving me a huge, massive platform for me to get my name out there. And I feel like I've capitalized well on that.
Like I said, I always have to hear both sides of the coin, right? You hear a guy goes, man, I fucking hate it. They don't promote me, da 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 da. Then you hear you as like, I put myself in a position where I can maximize their platform by the performances, right? And that's what I thought too when I read the guy, and I was like, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. Like how much money he actually, how much revenue did he bring to the company? Right? Well, your skits are amazing, right? We haven't seen many skits this time. What's that all about?
Just haven't had the desire.
Should I follow you? My favorite skits.
I'm worried about that. I'm worried about my followings, you know.
Well, I just love your skits. I think you and Rob have great skits. You know, your skits where you're pop, and Tim's on the back of the, you know, the fucking moped. It's like, it just keeps magnifying your brand, right? It shows a different side, because the only time we usually see you is when you step in a cage, you knock somebody out, colorful hair, you're gone. Then if you follow you on Instagram, YouTube, you see a different side. will we see more skits after this fight, or you like, or you know, you jumped off social media, you don't smoke weed anymore, you don't drink alcohol. What came of that? Like, what was it like? You're like, I'm fucking done. I'm not going to drink anymore. What was the change and shift in your life where you're like, I don't need to do this stuff anymore?
I don't know. I feel like I never had like anxiety to where I felt like it was an issue. Like, I have anxiety. There's just a little bit of like this underlying kind of like, you know, you're driving home, listening to music, you kind of just have a little, you should just be like, my life is so, I have everything I need that I should be able to be peaceful whenever I want. But it's like, I feel like social media is a distraction to just life in general. But I think especially when you have a huge following and you're almost trying to keep up with that, and it's like you get almost attached to Sugar, who that's Sugar Sean, like that's, you know, millions of followers. That's who I opened that up, and I just, whoa, you feel it. So I just felt like it was a little bit of a distraction. It was a little bit of like an anxiety creator. Alcohol, I mean, I'm not done smoking, done drinking. Of course. In my mind, I guess I am right now. I don't really have any desire to. Like, I don't have any desire to go like, oh, I need a drink or I need to smoke, or I don't know. I just feel like there's no reason I didn't have more peace in my life when I have everything: a healthy family, good friends, good community, doing what I love to do. You know, everyone's around me is like, I don't have any reason I shouldn't be able to just be like, find peace. Like, that's peace is like having fun, like excitement. Like, you go to a club, like that's fun as fuck with the fellas, but it's like the pendulum swings. You're having up there, you come down. Like, if you can just kind of have peace and find peace, that's the goal. So I feel like just me getting off social media was kind of like me seeking more peace throughout my life, and it's been life changing. Like, I really do feel like being off of that has changed my life in a better way, as far as just like not feeling like I'm so connected with the world, and like seeing everyone's issues and seeing what's going on with like I'll still watch YouTube. I definitely still, I love YouTube. I can't say I'm off YouTube. It's a little different.
Yes, you can be, you jump on Twitter, you see what's going on here. You know, Michael might send me something. I'm like, I don't like using Twitter, because Twitter's just like a very negative platform. But I agree with you. Like, you jump on YouTube, it's like, what do I want to watch today? It's more of a television.
Yeah, right? And I was so like addicted to Snapchat, because I found once I got into the Snapchat program to where you could make money on Snapchat, I was making so much money. I was on it all fucking day. I was posting 50, 60 snaps a day, just like on it, like talking to the community. And I think that's why my Snapchat blew up as big as it is now, is because I was so like direct engaging with it. And I was like, holy shit, like there's nothing I do that's not like, I go outside and read, boom, snap. I go outside and write. I'm outside with my daughter. I'm fucking about to hit the gym. Like, now I have Blake, my assistant. He just does all that for me. I don't even have to get on I don't get on Snapchat, Instagram. I don't get on any social media. And at first it was, but I was so like addicted to it because I was making so much money off it. I mean, I'm still making the money, and it's like, but I don't have to be the one doing it. So I feel like I was able to, I wouldn't have got to where I'm at right now without that amount of effort put into social media. I feel like I put in that much effort, and to where I can step back and have Garrett and Blake run my social medias. I definitely still enjoy making content, like making YouTube videos and stuff. It's just like, I don't have the desire to surf YouTube or surf Instagram or Snapchat or fucking Twitter. It's just like that. Not having that, like, dude, I would drive home and just be like, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm literally surfing Instagram while I'm driving. Like, it's so wild how addicting that is. And to be able to like get on the other side of that, it's like, I see people like just surfing Instagram, and it's like, I feel like if I was just looking to like, I feel like you look like, from an outside perspective, you look like you're not even really looking at shit. You're just
doom scrolling. That's what they call it.
It's like,
doom
you
scrolling.
look stupid, and like I felt stupid when I would catch myself. Like, what am I doing? So it's like, I just feel like I've benefited a lot from limiting distractions in my life, and I didn't do that because, I didn't have a good training camp last fight. Like, this is how I'm going to beat Marab. I'm going to get off that stuff. It was like all these decisions were just not even based like performance based. Like, I don't think my last training camp was affected because I was on social media or I smoked or I don't think any of that. Like, I think getting off all of that will probably affect my performance in a positive way, but it wasn't being like, oh, I gotta get fucking beat Merab now, so I'm gonna not do all this stuff. It's like I chose to do all that stuff for more inner peace.
It's funny you say inner peace, because my wife says she's 38. She's turned 38. She goes, I am at peace, right? Like I'm, I love the doom scrolling as well. And I tell myself, I was like, man, I cannot wait so I don't have to do it as much anymore, right? Because it's pretty much my business right
Part
now,
of work.
right?
Yeah, I get that 100%.
It's hard work and you have to be involved in it. But I never forget what Dave Chappelle said. And one of his friends came to him and goes, man, you see what they said about you on Twitter? He goes, you act like that's a real fucking place. It's not a place. It doesn't exist unless you click the bird, click Instagram.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be part of that world. And my best friend, he has no social media or nothing. And he went to get his hair braided the other day. And he goes, dude, I felt like I was living in a different fucking dimension. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, they were talking about all the stuff that's going on online. And I was like, the only thing that matters in my life is what's in these 4 fucking walls and above my roof. And I love to hear that you're saying it at a very young age of 30, where you ask, another 30-year-old, no, man, it's all about social media. You got to be on there. You got to do this. No, shout out to you for having that inner peace, finding it at 30, where, I found it at 30. Well, I'll be 39, sure. My wife's found it at 38. I found it at 38. Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, I feel right now I don't have any desire to, but I feel like someday, maybe after the fight, it's like, oh, let's just look at it. Let's just check it out. I'm like, that's that little fucking devil on your shoulder saying, hey, let's just 5 minutes, reply to a little couple tweets. Cause I love, like, I know leading up to this fight, like I'm assuming I'm a massive underdog and I don't think there's probably going to be very many people that think I'm going to go out there and win. Yeah. And, after fights, I like to tweet at like LOL or something at like,
of course. The interesting thing, like I said, I don't surf Twitter at all, but there's not, I don't think people are saying that. I think people are excited for this matchup between you and Merab. There is people like, oh, he's gonna maul him. I think they're excited to see, Merab fought Umar. That was a great fight. And then, the first time when you guys fought, like he was able just to manhandle you, take you down because of the hip injury. You didn't get much time to grapple. But I think now, you're still probably the biggest star in that division. Right. And I think people want to see you return, because at one point in time you were fighting. I mean, you look at your posters, you have March 9th, August 19th. You were fighting all the fucking time. I think people are excited to see you get back into action and then you're taking on a formidable Merab. And that's what I think is more of the buzz. Not people like, oh, he's not gonna win. Oh, blah blah blah. I think they're excited to see you get back in the cage. Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited to get back in the cage. I want to be active. When I think of me being 40, I'm like, okay, how many more fights can I have in the next however many years? Like, I don't want to look back and be like, God, I wish I would have just tried to, fight a few more times, because I want to give 100% potential. I want to reach my full potential while I can, while I'm this age, while I'm healthy, while I'm in my prime. So I want to stay active. I want to ideally go out there, win the belt, take a few months, and then, get back to work. Like, I want to stay active. And I think people, I feel like I would be, there's exciting matchups. I go out there and beat Merab. It's like there's exciting matchups. There is 2 if Merab wins, like Merab versus Corey. Merab beat Peter 5 rounds. Like there's a few, but I mean, at the end of the day, realistically, it's like my style is more exciting to watch than Merab's. I will say Merab's last fight was fun. I do enjoy his showboating. Like he's made it work for his style, like how boring it like was, and he's kind of made it work. But I just think there's a lot more exciting matchups in the division for me that people could get excited about. I think either way you look at it, I agree with you, because you do have you versus Alexander Topuria, that'll be a great fight. Both stand up. Who else she's got signed? Patchy Mix. He's in the division now. He's beaten Kyoto Higuchi. He's beat Sergio Pettis. But around it, wants to cross that void, get on your back. I mean, that division now is becoming one of the hottest divisions under that umbrella. But before it was still hot, but now it's added a little more spice onto it. Corey Peter, you versus killers. Corey. That'll be, you guys both moving in angles. Me versus Peter rematch. I mean, that would be probably one of the biggest fights in UFC bantamweight history. Like the rematch. I mean, I think me versus Cheeto 2 was up there for one of the biggest fights. But the Peter rematch would be massive. Do you ever get tired of your hair? Sometimes. I mean, like when it's braided, it's nice because it's kind of like
being bald-ish. Like it's, you know, it's like it's braid. It's not. I don't deal with it. So I do. Yeah, no, I do. Because most of the time it's like this. Like it's just like when I'm in training camp.
Yeah.
Like it's fucked all the time. Like it's just, but when I have it braided, it's nice because it's just everything's back. I don't gotta deal with it. But yeah.
Do you ever just get it braided during training camps? Like,
all the
hey,
time.
hit me up real
Usually,
quick.
yeah. She's just been not wanting to, but she can braid me in 40 minutes, an hour at home. Like, but right now she hasn't been wanting to do that. So I haven't. But
why don't you let your hair grow longer?
I mean, it's she ends up trimming it every once in a while once it starts needs to get shaped up or whatever. She's a hairstylist, so she I don't know. I literally, she says, hey, put this in your hair. Hey, do this. I was like, all right, I'll sit on the chair. You do what you do. Yeah.
I think you should grow it out. I think you should get like the length of your
Garrett?
producer, Garrett. You should get it like that long. I want to see it that long.
And fucking color it red too. Me and Tim, just fucking redhead brothers.
The ginger duo. Here we go,
Yeah.
boys. Oh man, I freaking love it. I want to ask you a couple questions about. You saw Ilia Topuria relinquish his belt a lightweight, go up to. He relinquished his belt at featherweight. He went up to lightweight, right? And you had Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
I was just picturing Ilia going up to fight Islam. Like that was kind of the fight I wanted to see. That was a big fight feel for me. Like that was huge. Ilia versus Charles, I feel like's big, not as massive feeling. Jack versus Islam, I think's huge, not as big as Ilia versus Islam would have been. But who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger. So, I think both those guys are number 1 and 1. Both tied, I think, for pound in the world, best in the world.
What do you think about those matchups between Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, and then you got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev?
I wasn't super familiar with JDM like until that last fight. Like I've seen a couple of his highlights, but I don't follow UFC like that. So I was like, oh damn, they're giving this guy a title shot. Like I wasn't familiar with his
same.
fights.
I'm the same.
And for him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very, very impressive. Made that Islam fight more interesting, for sure. I don't know how much bigger JDM is than Islam. I still think Islam's skill for skill is just fucking so high level. But if JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's underrated. He's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA. So I'm excited for that fight. Charles versus Ilia, the way Ilia stalks people down and the way he cracks people, like I could see him landing on Charles. I could see him hurting him bad. But yeah, I mean, you can't count Charles out. The way he marches forward with those knees. Ilia's, 5'5".
I don't know. You tell me. You said anybody under, who's not 5'11" is not a man.
I did not.
Each time you post those things, I'm in the shower. I'm like
in the shower looking at Twitter. No, I think it's gonna be interesting because Charles is a big motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
And Ilia's like he's thick, but he's not
tall.
No, but he's super thick. So it's gonna be an interesting size discrepancy. But I just think he just finds a way to land on those fucking chins, and Charles gets hit. So
he gets dropped, and then he usually goes to his back, and then I always tell people like Charles, like you said, he gets cracked.
Yeah.
He goes to his back. People, Justin Gaethje, so many people lit him back up, and he gets back in the fight. He ends up catching them.
Yeah.
He falls him, chokes him out. I feel like Ilia drops him, he's gonna go down there, pass his guard, and look to submit him. But that fight, it's funny you say it doesn't give you those jitters. And I'm like, man, I don't know, man.
It does. There's not as much as Islam versus Ilia. The Charles versus Ilia does, because Ilia, what he's done in the last few fights, Charles, what he's done in the last few years. That fight, that's a big fight feel. Just Ilia versus Islam was the fight. That was the fight to make. But I think I could see those guys both winning and having even a bigger fight.
Yeah, that's true.
But it would be sick to see Charles take him, choke him somehow.
Oh my god, the
so
fucking
sick.
world would just be like,
oh god.
Because I think a lot of people are counting Charles out.
Yeah,
right? Because you look at his previous fights. Yeah. His last fight where he fought Michael Chandler, he did get hurt in that fight. The first fight, he did get hurt too. So he got hurt in both of his fights.
And Chandler's wild, where Ilia's just fucking...
just clean. Like you said, stalks, gets across that void and starts throwing those big-ass shots, body. He throws punches and bunches. and if he's able to hurt him, but like you said, Charles, if you catch him with that knee,
oh yeah,
that's why I'm excited because I told people it's about the storylines now. That's what gets me excited about when I cover this. Like okay, Sean O'Malley, he's about to fight again. He's taking on Merab. He lost Merab the first time. He had Merab hurt in the final round.
Yeah.
Okay, if Sean wins, what does he do after that?
Yeah.
If Sean loses, what does he do after that?
Yeah.
He's still there, right? You still have those big matchups. What is going to happen? That's what, like with Ilia, if Ilia beats Charles, okay, does he fight the next 155? Does he fight Arman Tsarukyan? Does Islam come back down?
That'd be cool.
So that's where I think drives the passion, the motivation, the engagement with the fans for me is a storyline, because you guys are all fucking good. Everybody's good, but it's like the stories what gets me involved is like, okay, I'm a fan. What's gonna happen with this gentleman when this fight happens?
Yeah. Arman versus Ilia would be sick. Fucking Paddy's
Paddy's
there. Paddy versus Ilia is massive, especially
I think 135 and 155, it probably creaming the crop, and then you have 170 right behind there because you have JDM, Joaquin Buckley,
Ian Gary.
You have the young guard coming up. You still have Usman there, who's still he's 37, so he's on his way out, and I think he knows that. And you have a couple guys at 135 who are on their way out as well, where you're part of that new guard. You're still young, but it's the stories that get me excited.
That last two that just beat Gilbert at 170.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
Michael Morales.
He's 25, right? 26. So he's young as hell.
Yeah.
Stud.
Well, I just feel now that it's always funny. Like I remember when I ran track and it was like, man, I ran a 4:38 mile. And I'm like, yeah, that's fast. And then as time goes on, oh man, I ran a 4:15. I'm like, would you run a 4:15?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I feel the generation of talent is getting better because you have kids, who train at 8 years old, 7 years old, where it's like, I want to do martial arts.
Yeah.
Then they're 21 and they're like, I'm a black belt and everything.
And you can just get on YouTube and look up how the best people in the world are doing certain techniques. Like people are just leveling up so fast. It's insane.
Yeah. I think the landscape of those divisions are like, it's like cinema. Like it's peak where back in the day, it would always fluctuate between, the spotlight would change, but I think now it's on bantamweight, lightweight, and 170. Those are, you have heavyweight, you got the whole mess there with, what's going on there. Light heavyweight, you have those guys, but I think those three are the premium divisions right now that get me excited about the stories.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Before I let you go, I always ask every athlete this, retired or in the game, what did you do with your very first check that you got where you're like, oh man, this is a lot of money? And then what did you do with your very last check that you made from fighting?
First check probably, was like probably my house, like just put
your first check. You bought a house?
I mean, not the first check, but it went towards the house, like down payment. Like I've always been very aware of money, like how it works, what I need, where's an investment, what's fucking stupid to buy. So I think investing a big portion of my first paycheck was into my first biggish one was when I was. After I fought Terrion Ware, I was making like 20-20 against Andre Sukumta. I made 20-20, made 40,000, got $50,000 bonus.
90K.
Got like the sponsorship for Reebok or whatever it was. I was pushing about 100,000 pre-tax, all that. So
this is like, how many fights was this in?
That was my second UFC fight.
Imagine that, boys. 100K in your second UFC fight.
because of the bonus. But
right. But it's based off your. That's the hardest thing. That
I broke my foot in that fight. Yeah, I broke my foot. 3 minutes left, and was hopping around on one foot.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, so I thought that was a $50,000 deserving bonus, but yeah.
100K in your second UFC fight. So you put it towards your house.
Yeah.
Right, and then what'd you do with your last check that you got? Like I guess your last Merab fight. What'd you do with that last check? You can say if you want, you don't have to.
Just stacking up. I'm still working on it like 7 fights ago, spending that money. I'm still trying to spend that one. It is stacking up. No, I've been investing money into businesses I believe in. I've been, I got 5 houses. I'm building.
You have 5 houses?
Yeah, I'm building
building
an 8,000 square foot mansion right now on my property.
Modern, what's the style of it?
It's a barn dominium.
Yeah, okay.
30-foot ceilings when you walk into the living room. Kitchen's insane, beautiful master, everything. Like everything's just like I'm building a dream house. And then there was Tim and Mariah bought their house right by me. There was, a plot of land for $500,000 in between us.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought that. I was like, all right, now we're neighbors. We literally walk to each other's houses.
Yep.
So I think, I haven't touched the money from the last Marab fight.
Let me ask you a question. This might be me overstepping my boundaries or whatnot, but I always like to ask, what is the difference? Because I'm assuming you got pay-per-view points, right?
Yeah.
What was the difference? You become champion. For example, I became champion. It was 350,000. I never got pay-per-view points until when I fought Henry. I think we did 90,000. No, I think it was 120,000. It wasn't a lot. We got an extra check for $90,000, but 350, 360, 370, 380 plus pay-per-view plus Reeboks, you get 40K on top of that. Talk to me about the difference of when you finally get that pay-per-view points and it fucking hits. I never forget when Jon Jones and DC fought, I think the first time. He goes, I'm trying to fight fucking Jon Jones every single time. Because that pay-per-view point, we made good money together. He goes, I don't care about number 1, 2, 3, 4, or the fucking belt.
Yeah.
Just me and Jon Jones fight every single time.
Yeah, pay-per-view is definitely different nowadays because of the streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do you mean though? You still have to pay for pay-per-view though.
90% of people don't. It's so easy to stream it. You go www. Fucking enter the link. Boom. It's right there. It's so easy.
So
to
you
not.
so what I'm hearing is that you've seen a difference from when you were fighting when it was just on direct TV to where you're fighting on ESPN Plus.
I've only gotten pay-per-view since it's been the ESPN Plus model.
Mm-hmm.
My first pay-per-view was with Cheeto.
Yep.
And then
the second fight or the second fight?
Second fight after Aljo.
Yep.
It did really well. I think that was probably the biggest UFC bantamweight fight. So that did really well, and I definitely saw a good size check from that.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's that so many people just watch it on the website on the link. That's just so easy. So, the pay-per-view model is dying. I think, especially with them talking about moving to Netflix or moving to somewhere else. I don't know if the pay-per-view model is going to be there as much as it was back in the day. I think, I don't know if anyone doing 1 million buys nowadays is pretty insane. Conor could come back and do it.
Yeah.
Jones versus Tom Aspinall. I don't even know if that does 1 million just because how easy it is to stream.
Oh, gotcha.
That many people will watch. The same amount of people will watch
it, but now it's just, but I mean, that's the hardest thing is how can you navigate that and stop people from streaming it? You know what I mean? I feel maybe you go to the free pay-per-view model. Maybe you go to Netflix.
You get
Netflix,
more
hey,
eyeballs. Yeah.
You get more eyeballs. Like the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. It was massive.
Broke Netflix.
Yeah.
It literally shut it down, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's how do you? That's a hard because that's where you guys make the bulk of your money.
Yeah, I think UFC. That's where UFC makes a shit ton of money too. Is but if they can do a multi-billion-dollar deal with Netflix, like that'll cover the pay-per-view buys or whatever. I don't know. I have zero idea what the fucking how much they would pay for that. But it may. I mean, yeah. It'd be interesting move into that model because I've always. I mean, coming up, I was always like, I want to do big pay-per-views. Like that was my mindset. Seeing Conor do that many, seeing Floyd do that many. Like growing when I was 20, 21, 22, before I was getting to where I'm at now, actually doing the main events and the seeing the numbers. I've been obsessed with the numbers. Fight pay, sponsorship, pay-per-view buys. I've been obsessed with that stuff before I was even getting. I was so excited to get there. I sit down with UFC. I have direct communication with Hunter. I talk about my numbers. I talk about my deals. I do all my stuff.
So you don't have no manager. It's all you.
I do it all with Emron, who he owns. Yeah. So I do all my stuff with him, and he's a very important mentor to me, and from business, life, just whatever it is. He helps me with everything. But so he sits down with me, and but I have all the conversations. He briefs me, hey, this is kind of what I think it's gonna go, and I sit down and talk numbers with all my sponsors, all the UFC stuff. So I really enjoy that. But yeah, I think the pay-per-view models is slowly dying.
Yeah. What do you plan on doing after you're done fighting? I feel like you have such a obviously an entrepreneur mindset and you love numbers. What do you plan on doing after you're done fighting? Like we were talking about, a little bit earlier in the the podcast about like, if you're not in training camp, you're like, what am I gonna do with myself? What do I do? Like, have you thought about like what it's life going to be like? What does Sean want to do after he's done fighting? Obviously, you're gonna have your children, you're gonna have your wife, right? But like what do you think is gonna keep you motivated to do something?
The kids thing is probably gonna take up majority of the time. Like again, number 2 is on the way. By the time I'm done fighting 8 years from now, number 3, number 4 might be here. I would love to. Like Elena does jiu-jitsu. I'd love to. It depends if she's passionate about it, wants to compete in jiu-jitsu, travel, go to jiu-jitsu competitions. She wants to play basketball, soccer, whatever. Travel with the kids for sports. Like I did that as a kid. I went and played traveling basketball, traveling baseball, and like that was great memories for me. So it's something like that, traveling with the kids, doing sports is for sure something that'll take up a lot of my time. But giving back to the gym, the community here, like the young guys up and coming. We'll probably have some guys in the UFC. We will for sure have some guys in the UFC by the time I'm retired. I'd like to give back more. Right now, like in camp, especially, is like you're so selfish with your time, selfish with your. I give back when I can. If like there's a position and we're in it, and I'm like talk to someone like, hey, this whatever. But I'd like to be more a part of the team and giving back in a coaching aspect after fighting for sure. I get a lot of joy from helping even right now the little bit that I do. So helping with the gym. Old family man, just being a dad, like that's something I've always wanted to be since I was a young buck. Like I wanted to be a dad, I wanted to have a family, so enjoying that. But yeah, just really being in the gym. I feel like if I can be in the gym, there's always that little devil on your shoulder that's like, I got that. I could be a crazy motherfucker like that. Like I need a for me routine. I gotta stick to a routine. I gotta be very strict in my routine. I can't go off the path even a little bit, because that leads down to a path that I've not been down, but I've been down. I've had some fun. I've dabbled.
Yeah.
I've dabbled in the superstar lifestyle a bit, and it's like that's a dangerous game.
Now, do you think you're gonna? The last one. I don't want to take too much of your time. Do you think you're gonna miss? Right, you lived in that superstar lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. Is there gonna be a point in time like when you finally hang them up and you're like, I think me and the boys, gonna go get the private jet. I'm gonna take the Ferrari. We're gonna go. Do you think you're gonna miss that superstar lifestyle? I mean, granted, you can always jump back into it. Like that's what we want to do, right? Like when we're gonna go to Vegas, okay, I'm gonna put on the AP. I'm gonna wear the chain. The kids are at home. Yeah, I'm gonna step out. Yeah, right. But I never miss the lights. I don't never miss like hearing Bruce Buffer or Dom Lau calling my name. It's like I laid that down. Do you think you'll ever be like, I gotta stay. I gotta stay sugar.
I don't know. I feel like I could have learned enough. I think happiness is a skill, and like you can learn how to be happy, and I don't need that. I don't associate that with my happiness. So I feel like I could differentiate the two and be like, okay, I don't need that stuff too. That's not what makes me happy. Yeah. And I'll be able to step away and be done with it. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm just. Yeah, no, I think I'll be good.
That's what's up.
I'll be good.
That's what's up. Well, this is your opportunity to let the fans know how they can support you, how they can follow you. Obviously, you got a big fight coming up. I don't think my man Michael's got any questions for you, but we do have some side gloves. We're going to have you sign these gloves. Okay. We typically do this for our YouTube, and we try to help back your YouTube. I'm going to sign a pair of gloves. We're both going to sign these pair of gloves, and you can give it away on your YouTube however you want to.
That'll be pumped. And you got the fire colors, too. I like it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Cool. I was like, you trying to be funny right now, Michael? What's going on here? We'll sign these once we get done. Chat will let you guys know how you guys can win these gloves. Go to Sean's channel to be able to win his. Fire. Sean will be able to let you guys know how to do it, and obviously best comment on Spotify, all the good stuff. We'll get you guys the opportunity to win this. But Sean, this is your opportunity to let the fans know how they can follow you, support you, buy your merch. The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, right now I think just all my social medias I think are all just Sugar Sean at this point. Snapchat, X, Instagram, YouTube. Other than that, shit, just fucking June 7th, my dad's birthday.
Oh, damn.
60th birthday.
You got a baby coming, and you also got your dad's birthday
Dad's
coming
birthday, June 7th, same night as the fight. He's going to be in my corner.
Is he really?
First time. I said, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing.
First time in your corner?
Yeah.
Has your girl been in your corner before?
No, hell no.
Oh, man.
Nah, she's good at sitting down and breathing and just like and watching, but she's usually at all the fights, but she'll probably be here with the little tiny baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad will be in the corner, and that'll be cool. June 7th. Shock the world again, break the machine, and do what I do.
Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it there. Make sure you check out Sean O'Malley's YouTube channel, Twitter, X, YouTube, all the good stuff. And make sure you check out his fight against Merab on June 7th. I am your host, Demetrious Johnson. That is our guest, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Thank you so much for taking the time. And we will see you guys in the next episode of the MIGHTYcast. What's going on, boys? Welcome back to another episode of the MIGHTYcast, and we're about to recap everything we just went through with our guest, and our guest was Sugar Sean O'Malley. First off, what an absolute treat to talk to him and be able to train with him, right? I always love to be able to train with the athletes, especially when I get ready for their fight. The first thing, when I first saw him, I've seen him before in the past. We've hung out, played Fortnite together. We've done actually a lot of stuff together back in the day on Twitch. To see him, I was like, you look strong. Like, you look like you put some muscle on. Looks like you've been grappling this camp, which the previous camp, he didn't grapple because he had that injury with his hip. But to be able to get, we did, I think, 3 rounds today. We hit pads, and he looked good. He felt good. That fucking teep is dangerous. He hit me with it, and I was like, that's your move right there, that fucking teep. The same move that hurt Merab the last fight. And I think looking at this fight between him versus Merab, and I told his assistant, and I basically talked to Tim, and I was like, I think it's going to come down to, can Sean break the machine, or does the machine run over Sean? That's why I think how that fight is going to play out, depending on if Sean wins or loses. But I'm happy to hear that he's in a good headspace about finding inner peace, not being on social media, Twitter, Instagram, all those fucking places where it doesn't exist unless you're on it. But I'm excited to see his fight against Merab.
Yeah, without giving away too much, how did it feel like when you worked against him? Like, what surprised you, what didn't surprise you? Because I think you always you don't know how someone feels until you actually, when you're working with Umar, when you're working with Islam. So what surprised you or didn't surprise you?
I think what didn't surprise me is that he was going after my neck, because they're, planning to be able to attack Merab, right? So I wasn't surprised with the choke. But he's big. I always forget how big he is. Each time I see him, like I see him on TV, then when I get next to him, I was like, wow, you are fucking big. His movement is good. But I think, what I felt is what I thought. And we only did one part of training, which was grappling. His specialty is his feet, the feints, like how he looks back and bop, bop, bop. That's his specialty. His teep, when I felt that, I was like, okay, that's your move. That's his bread and money to force me to come across the void and do something. Like, if he's not gonna come get me, he'll teep me, which forces me to go after him, or he teeps me to stifle me. But yeah, he felt sugar. He felt sweet.
What about like comparing him and MVP?
It's not even difference. MVP is way harder because he's faster. But once again, we weren't doing striking, which is Sean's bread and butter. We're grappling.
That's true. Yeah.
So you can't compare the two. And obviously MVP is way bigger, way longer. He's a master of that. Where Sean typically throws the teeps to force. Sean has more knockouts in the UFC over MVP. But just two different workouts and two different athletes and two different spectrums of length and size.
Yeah, and I think the elephant in the room, which I would have liked you to ask about, but I understand why you didn't. It is surprising from a pure fight standpoint that Sean's getting the rematch.
Yeah.
And I think it's not Sean's fault.
No.
It's where the UFC is right now in its booking. How we're hearing rumors of potentially Yair Rodriguez going against Volkanovski when all he did was beat Pitbull and
That's
he
the
lost
rumor?
the fight before that. Yeah, there's a rumor.
See, this man be living on Twitter. He gets it. That's like Sean.
No, really. I mean, that it sounds like it's legitimate. So I think that's just the world we're living in, where TKO. There's no mistake, right? TKO owns WWE and UFC, and there's very much a pro wrestling booking going on. So it's not like it's Sean's fault, but I will say I would have loved to see before this title shot Sean versus Corey Sandhagen. For me, that's a dream matchup, and you don't always need the title. Like, that would be a great fight for me. I would have loved to see that before the title fight.
But obviously, talking to Sean, he's doing pretty well financially. He's a businessman. He's made great investments. So I think, it's almost like Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. That fight, everybody wants that fight to happen, but the fight doesn't need to happen. Jon Jones is sitting pretty good financially. Tom, he's looking to fight because he still wants to keep on building his legacy. So I think for Sean fighting Corey, that would be an amazing fight. Sean's going to sell on anything, whatever he does. So, but I also think for TKO, the business standpoint, like, who is Merab going to fight next? Like, who could he fight next?
Yeah, he already beat Peter Yan. I mean, I guess they could have done an automatic rematch with Umar, but for whatever reason, not doing that for the time being.
Yeah, or they could have done Corey Sandhagen versus Merab, right? And then give Sean somebody else.
Yeah, but you would have had Corey just fought, so you would have been projecting that Corey won, because at the time Corey was coming off a loss against Umar.
Yeah.
So no, it when you really think of it that way, pretty much the only real options were Peter Yan, who he already beat in a really boring fight, 5-round fight, or doing the rematch with Umar, which that fight was sick. That was one of my.
Oh, it was a great fight.
It was in January, so one of my favorite fights of the year so far. But yeah, it is questionable, but I will say Sean has a star power that not a lot of guys in UFC have. Like you said, they're trying to make UFC the star, not the individuals, and he's found a way to
be able to do it.
Like, when the day comes where, if he doesn't want to fight anymore, or even if he did for some reason want to fight somewhere else, or let's say he does the influencer boxing thing, he would be extremely successful without any of the promotional power of UFC. So I can see why they would do the matchup, but for me as a fan,
of course,
I have to say I would have much preferred get that Sandhagen fight in there, and then if Sean wins, you're having him earning that title shot back. So that was the only thing that was a little bit amiss with me, but UFC's a business. There's nothing you can do out of it. It's not going to be. It's not a tournament where there's a point system.
Exactly. Well, I think the biggest thing too. We always talk about this off camera, off the record, about there's no stars, there's nobody coming up. And I was like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because UFC wants, it could be a bad thing, it couldn't, but for UFC, the brand is so fucking massive that they don't need, even Sean said, he goes, the UFC doesn't need me. They'll just, have another fighter fight, pay them, and build that person up, or make money off them. And I think it's very intelligent that he thinks that in his mind, because when an athlete is like, oh man, like, the UFC needs me, they need me, you become reliant on that. You're going to fill the shoes that they want you to fill, essentially, where he's like, I know they don't need me, and I don't need them at a certain point, but I am going to capitalize on, that massive platform they have by going out there, knocking out somebody. It's good for the brand. It's good for his sponsors. And, at some point in time, everybody wins, essentially. But I'm excited to see that fight. It's kind of crazy to think that labrum that he had torn, hindered his training camp. Toward this camp, he got the surgery. I hear all the time athletes and doctors say, do not get that labrum surgery, because the hips never are the same. And he said he feels great. He felt great, when I was trying to, pass his guard and grapple. It'll be kind of interesting to see how he approaches this fight against Merab now that he's had a camp of grappling.
Yeah, and I think some people will watch this and be like, oh, there's excuses, but he's making no excuse about it. He accept every fighter. When have you ever entered a fight where you were 100%? It's
rare.
It's very rare. So he knows that's part of the game, and he accepted the fight. So I think it's cross my fingers that both these guys, like, it
Stay
seems
healthy.
like hopefully Marab doesn't get some cut that he posts on social media.
He was still fucking
No,
fight.
he'd fight, but I'm saying hopefully he doesn't reveal it on social media.
Yeah.
And then Dana just gets mad at him for, posting getting stitches a week before the fight. But no, I love, and I also love that Sean just is so zoned in that, he's not doing the Tim and Sugar show. He's not doing. He is doing some YouTube content, but not posting near the frequency that we are.
Well, he's locked in.
No, exactly. No social media.
Yep.
You didn't ask him about it, but I don't want to say it on camera.
But the Ryan Clark and RG3, the tall glass of
Oh
milk.
no! I'm saying he said. Yeah, no jerking off. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, he was at. Yeah, I wish you asked about that actually.
Oh, he's not jacking off? He doesn't need to. He has a girlfriend. I mean, you got to get a girl. It's like, hey,
true. The girl.
Can I hit it from behind real quick, babe?
His girl's pregnant, so he's clearly been at it.
Yeah, exactly.
At least in the last 9 months. So.
Sometimes that's the best, sex you can get, man. It's just, it's great. When your wife's pregnant, you'll find out, boys. You'll find out when your wife gets pregnant. You start hitting that. It's just,
no need. It's
great. 9 months.
That's the commitment. No jacking off. No social media.
Yeah. I mean, but once again, I think social media is in a place now where you don't like. For me, I always tell myself like I'm not gonna jump on it. Like I don't need to jump on it. Like there's just no point. There's nothing that's on there that's important. That's not more important. That's around me and my four walls and my roof. That's one of the things that I love about when I'm with the kids or I'm playing video games. Like
saying you don't love all the death sentence Instagram posts.
I do. I do, but I don't need them.
My algorithm is just full of death sentences.
I have death sentences. I mean, there's a point in time for it, but like I can understand with Sean. And my best friend, Akaika, he's like, he has no social media or Instagram or Twitter, and I envy him because he doesn't have to, why do I care if Dana White's promoting fucking, boxing? I don't give two fucking shits, right? Like, why do I care if, RG3 and Ryan Clark are talking about a fucking tall glass of milk and Caitlin Clark, and I don't fucking care, right? I just don't. So I envy Sean. He can remove himself from that. And I look forward to the day where I can do the exact same thing. Just like the Outdoor Boys, he had 14.9 million subscribers on YouTube. He was like, I'm done. Like, I think there's so much power behind that. It's almost like when I stopped fighting, I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to fight anymore. And I just walked away from the sport, even though I can still move with one of the best in the world. Like, I think there's a lot of power behind that. So
yeah, and also just a reminder, we got the signed gloves right here.
Demetrious Johnson and Sugar Sean O'Malley
right here. Hopefully this camera's in focus.
Yes.
And so just we'll put the giveaway. We've done a good amount of these, so I think you guys know the drill by now. But some nice signed by two UFC champions, and so we got. One of them will give away on Sean's channel as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, we got 3 gloves, 3 winners.
Did he sign that one? Yeah, he did sign that one. Yeah, make sure you guys go follow Sean O'Malley's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, like Michael said, his producer will let you guys know how you guys can win these gloves. Maybe they might save him for one. Maybe it could be the collab we just did for Sean's channel. And like Michael said, we'll let you guys know how you guys can win these gloves. Usually it's a Spotify comment or YouTube comment, since we have 2, maybe one for Spotify, one for YouTube, and then we'll let the best comment win.
Just look at the YouTube community post. We'll post the details. And
you cocksuckers trying to fucking, rob us, think twice. Michael's on to you guys.
We had a guy, the first glove giveaway, I just get an email, hey, I'm the winner, and then I have him verify it, and it's like silence.
Just silent with ghosting. So we're on to you, motherfuckers. We're not just, this is our first day, all right? All right, boys. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the MIGHTYcast and the Mighty Recap, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live. We're always on the grind, and we always read the comments to see what you guys want to see next. This was absolutely amazing to be able to train with Sean O'Malley and be able to do a MIGHTYcast with him. So I am your host, Demetrious Johnson. That's my right-hand man, Michael Wansover. Nick Pappas, our Italian producer, is out of the camera. We will see you guys at the next episode of the MIGHTYcast. Fire it off.
I'm ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the MIGHTYcast. I am your host, Demetrious Johnson, and my co-host, good friend Michael Wansover, is live in studio with our guest, Sugar Sean O'Malley in Phoenix, Arizona. Sugar Sean O'Malley, how you doing, baby?
What up, DJ? Thank you for having me on, brother.
Absolutely, man. It's been a long time. I think the last time we hung out was during the Fortnite Pro-Ams.
Oh, California. I remember we grabbed lunch.
Yes, we did. And you actually made it to the finals. Didn't you get like first and second? Or
no, I think, well, because I was playing with another pro, so it was like, I think I was playing with Courage. I'm trying to think. Oh, no, that was in New York. I remember I got blacked out around that time, so I don't remember exactly. I remember I got buzzed up at that event. I don't remember what happened.
Oh, man, I love it. How you been, man? How's life?
I can't complain. Life is good. Life's been good, though. So, zero complaints over here. Training, chilling, gaming, being a dad. Life's good.
Love to hear it. Now, right now, you are training for your fight, going against Chito Vera. We'll hit on that later. But the one thing I've always wanted to ask you, and I remember I asked you a while ago, but how you be smoking all that good dank and still be having like, you know, all the lungs to be able to train? Like, I see you, and it's like you're the opposite of, you know, what most people think. Well, that's kind of stereotypical. What an athlete would do. Right? Like you blazing up. I'm a fan of it. I love it because I'm like, even though this gentleman smokes all this weed, he still whoop your mother ass.
Yeah,
right?
I really don't smoke as much as people think. As far as like being a professional athlete, I think I do it better than anybody in the UFC as far as recovery wise. My habits, my routines, I think I'm on another level compared to anybody in the UFC. So, but as far as smoking, I vaporize it. I use it, especially in camp. I'm not gonna smoke a joint. I'm not gonna smoke out of the bong, smoke out of the pipe, dab. I smoke out of a nice, clean, quality vaporizer. Pretty much once a day, usually around like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
You got it up.
I got a routine, baby.
He's like, I like beep, beep, beep. Oh, it's that time. Hey, Tim, I gotta go, babe. I'll be right back. All right.
I do a lot of my zone 2s, a lot of my longer workouts, like the 60-minute slower workouts. I do, or lower heart rate workouts. I'll do just stoned out of my tits.
Oh my God. Now, do you think that affects, like, obviously, you know, I've heard jiu-jitsu athletes, they'll do it and they just feel like their mind goes to a different place. They're able to explore different positions in jiu-jitsu. Now, for you, do you think that helps, like, with just calming the lungs, calming your body, and just getting your mind in a headspace where it's like, okay, I got 60 minutes of just chilling and running. Like, it is what it is. We're just gonna vibe out on this run and call it good.
Yeah, I think if you can use marijuana as a tool, that you can hyper focus on whatever task you want to. But you have to be able to do that. That's a skill in itself, because you could also get stoned and just completely not do shit and just get lost watching YouTube. So yeah, I think if you use it and to hyper focus on what you're doing, you know, I'll shadow box for 30 minutes, but not like a crazy pace, just shadow box, play around, sit on the stationary bike for 15, jog for 15, just kind of break it up into 15, 30 minutes little segments and just, focus in.
That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, I can agree with Sean because I see my wife take a couple of hits of some good. And next thing you know, the whole house is clean. I'm like, that shit is amazing. Yes. Keep on doing that, baby. She goes, shut up. Don't worry about what I do. So, okay. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. In high school, middle school, when did your first athletic career begin? Did you wrestle in middle school, play soccer, football? What was the sport that got it all started for you?
I remember playing basketball and baseball and soccer at a really young age, like 3, 4, maybe not 3, 4, 5, 6, just playing all the sports. In the winter in Montana, it would be basketball. We'd do indoor stuff. In the summer, we'd do outdoor stuff. So basketball, football, baseball, soccer, all year round since I was, 4 years old, all the way up until high school. Played basketball in high school, freshman year. Played football in high school, freshman year. Played football sophomore year. And then I started kickboxing around those times too. So I was kind of over the school sports. Didn't really get good grades. Didn't really like the whole idea of big team sports. I was kind of over it, and I wanted to try boxing. So I went and tried boxing a little bit, hit some mitts, kind of sparred around. Took a kickboxing fight shortly after that. I think I had 4 kickboxing fights and 4 boxing fights from 16 to 18. And then once I turned 18, I was able to do MMA fights in Montana. So I started doing MMA when I was 18 and just was obsessed with it.
Damn, so I didn't know you had a kickboxing background. So you started with kickboxing and boxing. Would you just purely boxing, or were you doing kickboxing? You're like, I think I'll do kickboxing, then go to boxing. Or was it boxing and you was like, okay, I think I'm going to do a kickboxing fight? Like, was it which one was it?
I don't even fucking remember, to be honest. I think I started out just boxing, and I wouldn't even call it like I started out boxing, kickboxing. It was like, we'd go to the gym and spar. Not like, I had a couple good coaches that would show me how to throw 1-2 and kind of like do that. But for the most part, we were going to the gym, sparring, and that was practice, So,
gotcha.
But yeah, it was kickboxing, boxing. And then when I was 18, started doing MMA fights and moved to Phoenix when I was 19. But I had 14 amateur MMA fights.
Damn, I love
so
that.
We were fighting all the time. I was always, when I moved to Arizona, like I realized how lucky I was to have all that experience, because there was guys in the gym that were like pro that had 3 fights total, like a couple amateur, then they turned pro. And I've had 14 amateur MMA and 4 kickboxing, 4 boxing. So I had all this experience, and I thought that was normal. And, it definitely wasn't at the time. And I just had a lot of experience.
It's still not normal at this time. Like in 2024, 100%. People are trying to go pro super fast. Like, I just want to make it to the big leagues and this. Like, no, dude, take your time, get all the experience you need. I think I had like maybe 18 amateur fights from kickboxing, boxing, shoot boxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu tournaments, and mixed martial arts. Like, Matt was like, you're going to make sure you're fully prepared, because I don't want you to get in the ring or the cage, because, once you go pro, if you get, a loss or a couple losses, it kind of, diminishes your star power, I guess you can say, when you sign with the big leagues. But it was literally like, one weekend, are you doing a submission tournament? And do not come back if you don't submit everybody. I'm like, okay, go there and I submit everybody. Come back, okay, what's next? Oh, we'll do a kickboxing match. I'm like, okay, kickboxing. So I'm happy to hear that you had a long, extensive amateur, because you don't see a lot of people nowadays who have that at all. Like you said, you went to the gym in Phoenix. You're like, oh, you must got 14, amateur. You guys, nah, dog, I'm pro. I'm 3-0 as a pro. And I'm like, that's it. Like, yeah, that's it. So hats off to you. Well, you see it now. You see why your stand-up is so damn clean. Like, your timing and your rhythm. Like, that's the one thing when people ask me, like, hey, what does Sean have that separates him from everybody else? I'm like, honestly, it's his distance understanding and his controlling it and be able to capitalize on people missing. Like, when you knocked out, Jesus, what's that Brazilian's name? He was a monster. Everybody was scared of him. What's his name?
Oh, no. The Brazilian?
Yeah. You knocked him out.
Thomas Almeida.
Thomas Almeida, yes. When you knock him out, they show it at the gym all the time. I work out at UFC Fit, and they show it all the time when you hit him, and then he fell down, and he was like, "What just happened?" You're like, "Oh, here, I'll come and finish you with a couple hammer fists." I'm like, dude. And then when you did the aljo, like your timing and catching people coming across the distance with the right hand, the check right hand when you back up, it's just so beautiful. And now I can see how it's transferred over for your long amateur career. This podcast is sponsored by Prize Picks, and we got the Super Bowl right around the corner. We got Sugar Sean O'Malley and your boy Mighty. We love doing Prize Picks, and you guys can give it a try. Just go to Prize Picks on your app phone, whether it's iPhone or Android. Use my code Mighty. And what's your code, Sugar?
Code Sugar.
And Sean, you love using Prize Picks as well, right?
It's as simple as more or less. Daily fantasy, best app in the game. Use code Sugar. Use code Mighty. Boom. Use code Mighty. Simple as that. Make some cheddar. Huge Super Bowl game coming up this weekend.
And when you do use our code, either Sugar or Mighty, they will match up to $100 of your deposits. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you make the right pick at Prize Picks. Now, with that, do you think that's what's helped you be so successful with the counter and the strikes? Because your jiu-jitsu is legit too.
Yeah, no, I think I think the confidence I got from knocking, because a lot of those amateur fights, I lost two amateur fights, and they're both to like wrestlers. I didn't learn how to wrestle till I moved to Arizona when I was 19, 20 years old. I had zero idea how to wrestle. I didn't have any good jiu-jitsu. So I was taking these MMA fights just, without any wrestling. I was just trying to knock people out, and I was knocking a lot of people out. So I got a lot of confidence. Like, okay, I naturally kind of fucking have a nice little whip to my punch. I just got to find their chin and they'll fall down. And I've done that so many times that I built this confidence, and now I just did it to the greatest bantamweight of all time. So I'm feeling confident. But I remember coming down to Arizona and kind of thinking I was the man in Montana because I was fighting a bunch of bums. I was smoking these dudes. And I moved to Arizona and I realized really quickly I am not the man. I am everything but the man. I am the woman. I know I can't say that. That's probably sexist. Being a woman's fine. No, I realized I wasn't as good as I thought I was, but I was always tough. And that's something where it's like just because I'm really good, automatically a lot of people think that means I'm not tough. It's like I've always known I've had the dog in me, especially when I moved to Arizona and I would get my ass kicked every day for the most part. Like if it was purely kickboxing day, I was like, okay, finally I can fucking kind of hang a little bit. Mm-hmm. But at the lab that was more known for wrestling and kind of grinding, and I didn't know how to fucking wrestle. We'd do 2 and 2s and be like, what the fuck's 2 and 2s? And like, oh, just get in on a single leg and we'll warm up. Like, what the fuck's a single leg? Like, I know it's one leg. I'm just grab it. I had no fucking idea. No one wanted to be my partner. Yeah. Like there was days I was the odd guy out and I'd kind of like sit in the corner and shadow box like a fucking idiot. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Yeah. So, but I always knew I had the dog in me just from the fights I'd been in, and I just that Peter Yan fight. Look, I recently watched that. I'm like, that was a fucking war.
That was.
I broke my fucking foot in my second fight, and I'm hopping around trying to take this dude's head off on one foot. So I know the narrative going into this fight. It's like Cheeto's fucking tough. I'm like, yeah, I'm tough too, but I'm just better skilled. So what's that mean? What's that equal? Yeah. I don't remember what we were talking about.
I think the thing going into the Cheeto fight is, man, like as an analyst, when I sit back and I watch it, I'm like I give you the power. I give both you guys good power for the striking. You've knocked people out more than he has. He's just very durable. He comes forward, his hands high, and then he's going to try to force you to fight him. You know what I mean? Force you to fight, which you do fight, but he's going to try to make it a nasty fight, so you're not going to be able to be a clean sniper. But obviously...
That's how I knock people out when they want to do that. I'm gonna get in your face and make you fight. I'm like, yeah, thank you. Please run into this right hand 8 times.
I'm super excited to see it because obviously the first time you guys spot, it didn't go your way. It looked like you had an injury. It looked like you hurt your ankle or your knee.
He kicked my perennial nerve, and it just gives you drop foot. So you're not being able, you can't do that. So every time I'd walk forward, I'd roll my ankle. Yep. So yeah, that sucked. Yeah. But it was weird because when I first felt the pain, like the tingling, it felt like when I broke my foot in my second fight. And that was a Liz Frank surgery, and that was in 2-year recovery. And
Damn.
That was, all that just came right to my head right when I felt the numbness in my foot. I was like, fuck. And then I kind of put my head out of the game. But I still felt like even dragging my foot across the canvas, I'm like, I'll still knock this motherfucker out. I was still trying to put his lights out. I might go in there and hop around on one foot just to prove a point.
Oh, I can't wait for that fight. It's gonna be sick. That's gonna be sick. I was gonna say I kicked Henry there in our second fight, right. And his foot went limp. And my coach was like, "You should have jumped on him." I was like, "Dog, I thought he was playing possum. I thought he was just trying. I thought he was trying to draw me and try to knock me out."
I had these fucking tight ankle wraps on. Again, because I was like still worried about that foot injury that I had. It was still kind of bothering me. So I had these really tight ankle wraps on. Yep. And right before I walked out, I was asking Brandon, I'm like, hey, will you try to loosen these up? I felt like it was they were like too tight. And then so when he kicks that fucking nerve, I'm like, I don't know if that nerve just didn't come back. Yep. Like because the wrap was so tight. But, I never really, like I said, I've been saying, I didn't really feel like I lost that fight. I didn't feel like that was a skill for skill. Yeah. He beat me because he's better. I never felt like that. And yeah, it's crazy full circle. 3.5 years later, we get a fight for the belt, or he gets to try to get the belt. I'm defending the belt. And, he's lucky I'm in this position. He wouldn't be getting a title shot off this fucking Pedro performance. I still haven't watched it. I just assume it was pathetic. So I guess I can't say that. But, yeah, he wouldn't be getting a title shot off that. I'm assuming, there's too many guys, It's just because of the history. So you're welcome.
Yeah, it's a storyline. It's going to sell very good, right? I think that's always the good thing about MMA is that if you have a history with somebody, the UFC can play it up like, oh, this is the guy who's beat the current champion. It's the same thing they did when I fought John Dodson. I'm like, why the fuck we fight John Dodson? They're like, we got to make it seem like you're beatable. So that's why all the commercials, we're showing him beating you up the first time. I was like, guys, you know this isn't going to happen. You guys know I'm going to blow through this, man. And when I do, I want a bigger check. And they're like, okay, well, just let us do our job in marketing. Didn't go very well. But you have more star power. One of the things I noticed about you is that even though you're focused on mixed martial arts and defending your belt, you're also focused on building your brand, which I find amazing because a lot of athletes nowadays don't recognize how big their brand can be by just marketing. Like with you, the colors, like the hair. What made you think about thinking outside the box? You got your clothing line, the Sugar brand, the Sugar Bud. What made you go down this path to like, okay, I'm pretty sure at some point you're probably going to make more money from your brand than you will from fighting, because your brand lives on after you're done fighting, right? If you build it correctly. So what took you down that road to start doing that?
I think I've kind of always been an entrepreneur at heart a little bit. I remember, being 16, 17, selling Sugar shirts, like trying to make a couple bucks, trying to sell tickets, get $5 per ticket. And I realized, it's like, okay, these guys are making about this much in for fights, which is a good amount of money to fight, especially if it's something you love to do. So I'm like, okay, but that's just not quite how much money I want to make. I want to make a certain amount. I want to make way more money that you can't just make from fighting, at least at an early stage. Like now I'm to the point to where I can just fight and I don't have to do anything else and I will be fine.
Yep.
But coming up, I was like, okay, if you're going to make 12 and 12 your first fight, whatever it is, 24,000, and you got taxes and you pay this, I'm like, that doesn't equal a lot. I need to make money doing other things. And so, the merch was a big one. Growing the social media to be able to go to these brands and be like, hey, I really like your brand. This is the numbers I'm getting. Like, let's work together. And so, yeah, I've just been like that since an early age. And I think it just came from, I always wanted to be rich. I don't know what it was. I think what it was my mom was so crazy about money. Like, she had 4 kids. She gave us a really good life. We had everything we needed, but it's like she's giving my dad $2 for fucking lunch every day. Here's $2 bills. Like, it was just very, in any argument mom and dad got was about money. Anytime we went on any trips anywhere, it was about money. Gas is expensive, blah, blah, blah. So it was constantly, since an early age, it was something about bitching about money. And I think that's what I was like, I just want to never have that issue. No, but more money, more problems, they say.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I think the biggest thing is too is that money brings a sense of freedom, right? Like you said, like you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, how much whatever you want. You want to travel, you can travel. If you want to eat at the expensive restaurant, you can do that. And I remember growing up, my mom every month she would say, "Well, the child support check came in. We make another month. We make another month. We make another month." And then I remember like fighting over fucking. You remember back in the day where you filtered water wasn't a thing, and the only way you get filtered water is if you buy this filtered water contraption called Brita. And you basically
a Brita filter.
A Brita filter. Me and my brother and sister would fight over that fucking thing. We would fill it up, and then once it was filled up, we would fight over it, and we're like, "Who drank the last Brita? I filled that up. I get the next goddamn Brita." Funny. Now, my wife say, "Hey babe, what type of water you want?" I'm like, "Don't bring me nothing that's not filtered. I want Fiji. I want the best water.
I pH, babe. And that pH, that good pH.
Yes, I want the best of the best." So I can understand that. Well, it was a good thing that kind of happened because it made you into an entrepreneur and made you want to strive to have your own brand and to be able to create income outside of fighting. Because that's the thing I've always said growing in my career is like any check I can make outside of getting punched in the face is a great check. So power 100%. To you for building that brand. I love it. Like I love the colors. What's with the hair? Why do you like to do the hair? What vibe do you go with when it's time to do your hair? Like always, it's like cotton candy, purple and pink.
Yeah.
What makes you choose that?
It's kind of random. Danny, my girl, she does hair. She does all my hair, so it's kind of like whatever she picks. But yeah, she just kind of like sometimes she'll get a new color line and be like, "Oh, I really like this. Let's fucking do your hair." And I'm always having to make content. So I'm like, it's just kind of the brand. Just do the hair. I think it's more weird when my hair is like normal color. I'm like, what the
Yeah, I
when
know.
it's like a faded purple or something. I'm like, I feel normal now. But if it was brown, I'd be like, oh, what the?
You should show up. You should show up to a press conference like with your hair normal, with like a light taper fade. Like, hey, so guys, it's Sean. That would
be nice.
Sean, don't call me Sugar. I'm not sweet anymore. Just call me Sean. That'd be hilarious.
Hey, once I evolve back into Sean, the better version of Sean, we'll get there someday, I think. But no, I think a lot of this brand, I'm just building, and then someday it's nice. I deleted Instagram and Twitter off my phone for about 3 weeks now. Just because I was surfing on those apps just way too much. And I'm like, I put them on Blake. I have an assistant. It's on his phone. So anytime I need to make a post, for the most part, he's teaching him how to make the posts for me. And I can kind of, teach that. But if I have to make a post, I'll get on there on his phone and do it. But it's been so nice because I noticed like if I'm driving anywhere, like, I'm not staring at my phone surfing Instagram or Twitter. Yeah. Because usually if I was in a passenger seat, like I would be fucking surfing. Now I'm definitely catching myself not surfing nearly as much. I don't feel so involved in the world, which has been a nice relief, especially being on camera. We were shooting content a lot of the time, doing podcasts on Snap. I still have Snapchat on my phone, so I'm not saying I'm some guru that just meditates all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Snapchat and stuff. But.
Well, like you just said, you're wasting so much time just browsing and surfing. There's nothing on there that's very informational for you. If you need the information, you just go to Google or whatever you need, or you have your assistant do it. And I'm sure in that time you like to spend it, with your kid, training, recovery, and like, what are you doing for recovery? Right? I mean, I know you got the bud to help you with your zone 2 working out, but are you doing cold therapy, heat therapy? What's your recovery looking like?
I've been in the cold plunge. I've had a cold plunge I've been doing it for about 5 years. I've been doing that shit for a long time.
You've been doing it before school.
I was doing it for a long. When I got into UFC, I was doing it. So I've been doing cold plunge for a long time. I have a sauna. Love my sauna. It's one of my favorite tools. I have a hot tub. I have a PEMF machine, a pulse electric magnetic, some shit. I don't know. But if you look up the benefits of a PEMF machine, I have this it's a mat, so you lay on a mat and then you put another mat over top of you like a sandwich, and it's that machine's one of my favorites. I'll do 40-minute cycles, 20-minute cycles on that multiple times a day. But after this, look up PEMF benefits for sports performance. Incredible. Ozone machine. I've been using this ozone machine recently. I have a shockwave machine, which is like it's a pretty expensive machine. You really only see it like the PI or like a physical therapy office. I don't use that too much. That's more for like serious injuries when you get hurt, and it helps create little micro traumas and flood it with inflammation. I have my Normatex, my red light, obviously the hypervolt guns. I really like those. Lacrosse ball has been one of my favorite too. Like just if my hips get real tight, rolling out on the lacrosse ball. But recovery is like the name of the game. Like I've been on top of that in camps for years. But you can go train as hard as you want, but you have to be able to recover, and that comes with sleeping good. My sleep schedule is money, on point, perfect. My diet, I have a very specific diet, a nutritionist. We take my blood a couple times a year. He analyzes it. Dan Garner's the best in the game. Been working with him for about 5 years. So like even you thinking I smoke and I do all this stuff, which isn't bad. That's kind of the persona I put off.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't think there's very many people that are dialed as I am.
Yep.
And I don't really show that as much. And maybe I do transition and kind of start showing that because I'm chasing greatness. I want to be the greatest of all time. I want to defend this belt. I want to go knock out Ilia if he wins. I want to, beat the guys that they say I can't beat, and stay dialed. I'm 29 right now, so I got 4, 5, 6 more years depending on injuries and how things go. But I've wanted to be the greatest since I started, but building that Sugar brand, it almost looks like I don't take this as serious as I do, and I don't think people see that as much, which is a lot of my fault. A lot of the content I post isn't like me sitting down reading for 20 minutes and journaling and fucking. I do all that shit, but I don't post it as much. So a lot of the shit I do is to be.
No, I mean, I think you doing all that stuff and doing the cold plunge for 5 years prior, 5 years, for 5 years now. I mean, you were doing it before that shit was cool. It's like now it's a big fat. I started doing when I was training for the rod tank fight, and I found huge benefits from it. I know my wife Destiny, she just started doing the cold plunge. She did it one day and she went, holy shit. It was the first time ever doing it. It was like 41 degrees. She did it for like 5 minutes. And the next day she went to the gym and ran a half marathon. She goes, oh my God, I felt amazing. Like I could have kept on going. I was like, yeah, it just helps the body like reset and recover. So, and I think there'll come a point in time in your career where you're going to start posting, showing your fans and everybody out there, like all the recovery you do besides the brand. And I mean, the brand is not, I don't want to say it's your persona, but you live it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know how some people are like, I have to put on this mask to be like, to get my fans. It's almost like Kobe Covington. I'm sure outside of the fight game, he's a pretty nice guy. Right? He's the guy who's helping people bag their groceries. Oh, can I get the store for you, ma'am?
Yeah.
But when he steps into the press conference or chaos, he's just a total dick, Where you have this brand, you're very colorful, you're very out there, you get the chain, you get the nice watches, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But then on the other flip side of it, you're also taking recovery seriously. You're doing the stuff you need to, your diet. I don't feel like you have to cut much weight. What do you walk around at?
57.
So that's actually, that's a lot. That's 20. That's like
it's
20.
Not fun.
Yeah,
I was thinking on Friday, last Friday, today's Sunday. So on Friday, we were 6 weeks out from the fight. I'm like, 20 pounds, 21 pounds, whatever it was. I'm like, motherfucker. That's the worst thing about fighting. I'll make the weight.
Yeah.
And again, I stay very disciplined the further out.
Yeah.
I know the more disciplined further out I am, the easier the weight cut will be. And I've always been good about that. I've never been like, well, I know I'll make the weight. I'll just suffer a little more. Yeah. I'm more like, well, I'd rather suffer a little bit less this far out and make the weight as easy as possible. But I walk around 57, 58 out of camp, or even in camp, really.
Damn. Well, that's even going to get, you're going to get bigger as you get older, because that's what I found.
I have been.
Yeah.
I used to walk around 53, 54, 55, and like each weight cut, I realized like I get a little bit bigger after each fight.
Yep. Because your body's growing. You're still growing. You're getting more muscle. Your bones are becoming more denser. Like when people were like, oh man, would you fight at 125? I was like, absolutely not. Like I walk around 150 now. Like that doesn't even sound fun. Right. And I think you're starting to see a lot more athletes like, okay, I'm tired of trying to, obviously the cut is 135. You could fight at 145. That's what your angle is next. If you knock out Cheeto and if Ilia knocks out Volkanovski, that's what your angle for next. And obviously, who knows how big Ilia walks, but at the end of the day, it probably doesn't really matter because you have the striking and you also have the range and the footwork. But I feel you're going to keep on getting bigger as time goes on. And especially with the recovery, your body, the muscles are going to get bigger. You're going to put more mass on. So we'll see what happens. And if you stay with that and you keep but once you stick with that over time, your body's going to be able to be, longevity is going to be in your favor.
100%. Yeah. I'd like to fight as long as possible. Just because I fucking love performing, but you never know. You never know when your last fight could be.
Yep.
So I just try to, take each fight and just enjoy the process. I enjoy being in fight camp. I feel like I reach a different level I grow every fight camp just because I'm so dialed in. Outside of fight camp, like I don't want to act like outside of fight camp after this fight, like I'm not going to go to the club. I'm not going to get absolutely hammered with the boys and make some stupid decisions probably. Because I definitely do that. I tend to do that after fights. And I think it's this yin and yang. It's this pendulum. Like I'm so disciplined, I fight and I kind of go, I'm like a little crazy for a little bit, but that's just kind of how I've noticed. That's just how my life is. Lots of very, very, very disciplined for 12 weeks, and then I fight and I get a little crazy for 4 or 5 weeks, and I slowly bring it in.
That's like a third of the camp.
Not crazy every day, 4 or 5 weeks. Like I'll take the boys out to Scottsdale.
Yeah, we'll
go to fucking Vegas. Maybe there's UFC 300s in April. I'll probably go to Vegas for that. So I
think it's good. Don't think I'm trying to judge you at all. I think it's good. I think you gotta have that yin and yang, man. Trust me. After I get done fighting, I'm like, all right, it's time to go, and I just go off and have a good time. I don't display that side of my life a lot, but it's something you have to have. Like, what's the whole point of training and dedicated 8 to 10 weeks to just, the same diet, the same routine, wake up, the boxing, the kickboxing, the wrestling, the blah, 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 blah. Then after it's all said and done, it's like, all right, I guess we did it. No, you go out, you have yourself a good time, and you don't even, you just ball out. We just enjoy.
And I noticed there's definitely not as much peace with that. I find way more peace in fight camp, where I'm like, just, I'm not necessarily having so much fun. Like you could say, I've been going to the club with the boys. It's like so much fun, to where sitting at home, staying home, stretching, watching your show, going to bed at a good time isn't necessarily so much fun. It's more peaceful, which I enjoy, and I think that's kind of what everyone would rather have. At the end of the day, is peace rather than, having just a crazy amount of fun. But I always enjoy in camp. I'm way more peaceful, less anxiety. Like, once you go out to the club, you drink, you wake up the next day, you're fucking hungover, you maybe eat some worse food. Now you have a little bit of anxiety. You don't train like you have been, so you're not feeling as good. So I always feel like I need to go through that and remember how nice it is to feel peaceful.
Yeah.
But sometimes I can't help myself go out with the boys and fucking.
I love it. Your watch game. I can't help to notice your watch game.
Yeah.
When did you get? So obviously, I know you like the jewelry, but I feel like jewelry and watches are two different things, especially when you have I'm assuming you have a collection, correct?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so when you have a collection, having a chain, jewelry, that's different. When you have a watch collection, what made you start collecting watches? Like, I know you got an RM. And I'm sure you got Rolexes. What you got? What you got in a little collection of yours?
Yeah. So I don't think anyone's really a watch or jewelry guy if you're broke. If you don't have like money, you're not gonna have like a full collection. So I never had. I've been broke my whole life until I got into the UFC and started making money. So I didn't really give a about anything. And then Steve will do it. I went to Miami, met him. Steve is a absolute legend. It's like the first night or second night we're hanging out, and he gifted me this rainbow AP, this iced out rainbow AP.
Damn.
And it was fucking beautiful.
You know how much put, dude?
There we go.
I've never even had a watch before.
Talk about the watch now.
I was like, oh my gosh! I threw that thing on. I was like, holy shit! I'm a whole new man. So I was like, I liked the way it felt. I mean, to get that as your first watch, it's gonna be hard to just constantly upgrade for that.
Yeah,
but so I got, it was a crazy gift. Still one of my favorite watches by far. But then after that, I think I got a couple basic Rolexes, like basic like custom or what's it called? Just like a regular Rolex, no iced out. And I gave one to my dad, kept one. Got a couple iced out Rolexes, which they say, oh, don't do that because then you can't, return them, or it's not as good an investment.
Yeah. Because you altered it.
It's iced out, and I like the way it looks. So I have 3 iced out Rolexes. One's this pink, beautiful pink. One's orange, and then one's just regular diamonds. And then I got my first Richard, and then I had that for a while. And then I wanted to upgrade because I really liked this one, but this one was way more expensive than the other Richard. So the other Richard I got, because I just wanted a Richard. I'm like, that's just it's like a status. It's for me in my mind at the time. I'm like, it's a symbol. It's you need one for whatever reason. So I got one, and then I really liked it. And but then I saw this one. I was like, let me fight one more time, then I'll trade that one in and then pay the difference. So now I'm rocking this one. I really like this one a lot. It comes with a pink, or you can get a pink band for this, like a light pink band. I haven't found one yet. I haven't got one yet, but yeah. So I'm rocking the Richard today.
Nice. Well, yeah. If you have an AP given to you as your first watch, I mean, that's especially a rainbow one. And if it was factory set, which I'm assuming it was. I mean, that's a heavy hitter. I mean, you can't go.
I think it's like a $75,000 watch.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go get a Breitling or your regular. I mean, you can get regular Submariner Rolex, but
those are clean. I like those. I like just the regular Rolexes. Those look clean when you see people wear them. Like, damn, that's like, they're fresh watches. I like the way they look.
Yeah, but that rainbow though, that's a.
It's a beautiful watch. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, gaming. We'll be remiss we're not talking about gaming. Now, right now, what are you playing? You playing Call of Duty? You playing Fortnite? What you got going on in the console?
Yeah, I actually quit gaming, quit streaming for probably over a year.
What?
After the Peter fight, I quit gaming. I was like, all right, my next fight's for the belt. I'm fucking just going to dial in extra, kind of. I never really felt like gaming was taking away anything, or else I wouldn't have done it. But looking back, I was like, okay, if I'm spending 2 hours, I started putting more of that time into recovery, and so I stopped gaming for a year, and then recently, probably within the last couple months, I started gaming again. Not nearly as much as I would, because I was putting in 2-3 hours a day, every single day. I've been streaming for like 6 years or whatever it was, like a long fucking time. Not as long as you're an OG streamer.
Yeah.
But I was streaming for a long time. We're back on the sticks. We're back on Call of Duty, like it never left. It's fucking it's crazy. It's like the same game. It's a little bit smoother now, but I've been enjoying playing some Call of Duty for an hour, 2 hours with the boys every once in a while here or there. Just playing, having little kill races, talking shit on the mic to the boys. Missed Twitch fam because, I had people subbing for 60 months in a row, and then, I took that little leave, and so now I'm back talking to the Twitch fam. I fucking enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun.
That's what's up. Because I always felt like when I would stream or game, it was almost kind of like my release. It's almost kind of like my recovery time. But mentally, I would be stimulated because I had to entertain.
Exhausting.
It could get super exhausting. So now I find myself playing games more off stream, just going to my office, turn the lights off, clocking maybe 45 to an hour of Street Fighter 6, and then maybe 30 minutes of Escape from Tarkov, and I'll come up. My wife's like, "You're like a brand new person." It's like you get out that inner kid in you. You get out your imagination. And I know some athletes are the opposite. Are like, no, gaming is like I can't do it when I'm in camp. It just destroys me. I get addicted. Like Jens Pulver was the worst. Like he would be late to the gym all the time playing World of Warcraft, and then we were like, "Dude, what took you so long?" He was all, "I had to finish this raid. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, all right, well, it is what it is. So, are you still streaming on Twitch? Are you on Twitch or Kick or YouTube? What are you streaming on now?
I went to YouTube. So I went from Twitch to YouTube for a little bit. Stopped streaming for a long time, and then I went back to Twitch recently. So I'm back on Twitch, and it's nice. People come in. I have like 300 viewers or whatever, and be like, "What the f***? Why don't you?" I'm like, I like not having a crate. If I had like 10,000, I'd be like, "This is a little overwhelming." I like having my regular people in chat, talk to them, have a good time. It's like every once in a while you'll get a fucking dork in there, and then the mods just block them. But it's nice to be able to have just a little conversation with the regulars. There's people that I can go live right now, and I could name 10 people that are going to be in there, guaranteed. It's cool to interact with the fans like that, and love game. I've been gaming since I was a little kid. So it's fun.
What's your favorite game of all time?
I think all time. I mean, the Fortnite days were crazy. That's when I broke my foot and I had surgery, and I was gaming. Like there was days I'd put 10 hours in. Like,
damn.
Yeah, 10-hour streams, just going fucking hard, playing Fortnite. I was so addicted to that game. It was bad. At one point, it was bad. But Fortnite's probably one of my all-time favorites. It's recency bias, like Call of Duty. The resurgence is so much fun. You die, you fly right back in. It's pretty much all I've played the last 7-8 years is Fortnite or Call of Duty. So those two are just like, I remember being obsessed with Mario and Donkey Kong, 007 at one point.
There's OGs.
Madden. I was absolutely addicted to Madden when I was in middle school, high school. There's just a ton of games, good games.
That's what's up. It's crazy because Fortnite and Call of Duty have been on the top of the food chain for so damn long, every year, and especially with the streaming space, the esports space. Everybody, wants to see who's the best Fortnite player, who's the best Call of Duty player, and they're always coming with the new maps and new skins, making new acquisitions of like now you can be. I think I saw one dude running around as Spawn on Call of Duty. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, when is Spawn getting the game? And I think I saw one person as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I
think Snoop Dogg's in the game at one point. Might still be.
Yeah, like that. I mean, that's just an endless money pit. Like, just keep on making deals with different influencer brands. I won't be surprised one day we're gonna see you in the damn game.
I need a sugar skin. I don't know why they throw some of these guys in there with them. Like, these guys don't fucking game. I'm a true gamer. Throw a sugar skin in there.
If you get a sugar skin, I'll buy it. Running
around,
I'll support
running around
you.
in my green shorts with my fucking UFC gloves on, no shirt. It'd be hilarious.
The bullets you shoot out of your gun to come out peak and purple. It's like,
Yep. Yeah.
Oh god, that'd be sick. Okay.
Punch people melee with a fucking.
Oh,
hand,
dude,
right?
that would be
That'd
sick
crazy.
because
one shot too.
Now they have I saw there's a guy named Unk, and he basically suplexes people when they're down. Like he picks them up and suplexes them. I was like,
Yeah.
you can suplex people in the game now. I was like, oh my god, they keep on reinventing themselves every single year with different skins, different mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
And yeah,
impressive.
that's why they're go to first person shooter when it comes to that team deathmatch style, not extraction and loot or. I think Battle Royale, it's getting there. I mean, I think H1Z1 and PUBG will always be OG king to me, but I
never played either of those.
Oh, man.
Or Apex.
Apex is... I don't like the bullet lobbing. I never got used to the shooting of the bullets.
Yeah, me neither. I played it once.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. But H1Z1, like, in its heyday, like, when it first came out, it was tits. It was peak performance. Peak. Oh, man. All right, so talk about game, we talk about watches. Now let's get back to combat. So now, if everything goes well with Cheeto, you want to go up and fight Ilia Topuria you want to become champ, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I want to become champ. Ilia just has that face that I would love to knee him right up the middle and break his little nose. I'd like to do that. So that's that. I'll probably head out to California and watch that fight. Ilia versus Volk, gonna be a fucking sick fight.
Oh yeah.
And when I think of who's like some of the most skilled fighter that I've ever watched, Ilia's up there.
Yeah. Yes.
Like Ilia's fucking dangerous. He's one of the best I feel like all around martial artist. He's so fucking skilled. So it's nothing like I don't think he sucks. And I want to go out there. I think he's very very fucking dangerous. But I also think I'll put his lights out. So it's a nice little mix.
I always laugh when you post on Twitter and you say people who aren't over 5'3" aren't men. I was like, I look at it where I'm about to jump in the shower and I just go like
Did
this.
I say that?
And then you.
I don't think I said that.
No,
I don't think I.
Michael, what did he say? You sent it to me.
I said a list of grown men that are under 5'5". Is that what I said?
Yeah, and then I sent it to DJ, and I'm like, "Oh, look at this!" And then DJ's like, "I'm not gonna respond."
Well,
I love it. I like that. I was like,
you don't give off. What's it? Short man syndrome.
The
only reason that works is because those guys, it drives them crazy. That's the only reason that works. If they didn't give a like you, like it wouldn't work. But I know Cody. That drives him crazy. Henry drives him crazy. So I know it drives those guys crazy, so I got to push their buttons.
Yeah. No, I love it. I laughed so hard. When I saw it, when Michael sent it to me, I just started chuckling. I was like, oh, I love Sugar House. I was like, he's always attacking everybody's height. It was, I'm jumping in the shower. I love it. I take no
DJ, I hate to put you on the spot, but I got to ask, what are you more jealous of? Sean's height or Sean's hair?
Hair.
The hair.
Dude, if I had hair like that, man, with the put a little S curl activator in that motherfucker.
Damn, you would look sick with the
curly, beard. I would do a nice low taper, nice little fro, and my beard, a low fade in the beard. Whoos.
Damn.
Dude, my pussy rates right here would be
mullet.
up here.
I feel like you rocking a little curly mullet would be sick.
Yes, that's why my boys, they got great hair, and so each morning before they go to school, like Tyron has a burst fade kind of like Jey Uso, but now his back started to get super curly, and I'm like, man, if I had good hair.
Yeah, I got a buddy that's bald, and he always says that. He's sitting right there. Man, if I had hair.
Okay, get in the shot. Go
show him that set of hair. Show him that head of hair, buddy.
Oh yeah, he's bald. Hey, it looks good, babe. Looks good. You got a little beard going on. I love it. I love it.
Got a little beard going on. He's losing some lbs, getting his confidence up. Started throwing some weight around in the weight room.
There we go. I always find it funny because I've always shaved my head even when I was in high school because I would wrestle. Like I would have waves, and each time before I go to the wrestling room, they're like, "Hey, you got to wash your hair. You got to wash your hair." And I was like, "This is stupid. I'm always washing my hair before I have to wrestle." So I started buzzing it low. And then when I got out of high school, I started, doing jiu-jitsu and MMA. And I remember the last time I went to a tournament, I was so influenced by Chuck Liddell. And I shaved my head like him, like the little mohawk.
Yeah.
And I did a tournament and I won. And after I got done, I was all right, I'm going to shave this off and grow my hair back out. That motherfucker never came back. It just,
seriously,
seriously,
wow.
dude, it just disappeared. And it was like I had a receding hairline or whatnot, but it was a thick little mohawk, and then I just shaved it off, and it just left, and then it just never came back. So I'm like,
it is. I bet that's nice though, because I hate training when my hair's like this. Like I'll have Danny braid my hair, usually once a week, and like it'll last me through the week, and it's just kind of bad. It's there, but it's back. It's not in my eyes. It's not getting yanked in jiu-jitsu, and it feels fucking. It's out of the hair, or out of the face. It is annoying as when it's just flopping around, getting pulled everywhere. It's in your eye. So
yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just like to. It's almost kind of like a running joke for myself. Kind of like my persona. Like if I see someone who has good hair, I'm like, wow, that guy's got great hair. Like my buddy, he had great hair. We trained together. His shit's all gone. He's thinking about going to Turkey and getting his shit all put back in. And I was like, well, I mean, you can, but your head's shaped like an egg like mine. So I don't know if it's gonna look good anyway. So
yours look. I mean, you look good like that. That's clean. It's fucking.
Thanks,
yeah, it looks good.
Thanks, baby.
And your probably feel extra. I know when my hair's braided, holy shit! I'm like, good luck hitting this little head of mine. I feel fast as.
The aerodynamicness is just
like when I'm in that octagon, I'm like, there ain't no way anyone can hit me. I'm too fucking aerodynamic.
Oh, I love it.
DJ, do you still got that Joker wig on the ground?
I do. It's over there.
Go put it on. Put it on. Show Sean the hair so we could match hairstyles. There we go.
That's literally how I feel my hair is on like most days. Like that's how I roll into the gym looking like that.
Like this?
Yeah, because I don't fucking do. I'll only do my hair when I have to go do a Happy Dad commercial. That's literally how my hair feels 90% of the time. I have to go to a commercial after this, so Danny has to do my hair. So that's why I'm trying to wear this mic like on the back of my head, or this headset on the back. But yeah, for the most part, that's kind of how my hair feels.
Oh man, that's too hilarious. That is too damn hilarious. Oh man, we got a game sometime. I know I'm not into Call of Duty, but we got to get together and do a little gaming session for the fans. I mean,
they'd love it.
We did the Fortnite one. That was pretty good. The Sugar Show. They called it the Mighty Sugar Show, and that did.
You got to jump. You'd have some fun running around with me, Tim. We'll have Tim on. I usually game with Tim, but we'll get a quads. So 4 of us, me, you, Tim. We'll find another, and we'll run around Call of Duty Resurgence, talk some shit, play some. We like to do kill races, so we'll have like 2 versus 2.
Yep.
And whoever gets the most kills, and like we'll do like $5 games where you have to PayPal your fucking bottom pays top, or we put some money on the line. Never a lot. But it makes it way more fun.
I love it. Before we, I want to talk. I didn't get a chance to talk about your relationship with Tim, right? I remember you were talking about in the past about, before you had a coach, you had all these different coaches, and then you've always had Tim in your back. But then you're like, you know what? I think I'm just going to make Tim my full-time coach. I want him to oversee everything. And you guys became, this little dynamic duo where you guys have a good relationship, coach and teammate and partner. Like there's a guy at my gym. He's got a shirt of you guys. He doesn't even wear my shit. He's wearing a Tim Welch and Sugar Sean O'Malley shirt. And you see funny. Tim on there and shit. And I'm like, what I got a shirt like that. But talk about your guys' like relationship as, best friends, fighter, coach. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think it works so well because I've always been rebellious. I've never really taken authority good. So I think it works so well because Tim's not like, I create my entire schedule. I make my own schedule. And everyone trusts that I want to fucking win the fight more than anybody.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I need the people around me to want to win, but I need to fucking want to win more than anybody. And I know my body more than anybody. So I create my own schedule, and I don't really have anyone telling me, hey, I think, I take advice, and I obviously love advice, and I want them to, put it in. But if I'm like, no, I need to do this, I don't want someone being like, I don't think you should. In a sense, I guess that kind of sounds worse, but he lets me do my own thing to where it's not trying to overcoach or anything. But then also when it's time to hit mitts or he's lining up sparring, I trust him to do those things, and then I trust Brandon Harris to do my strength and conditioning. I trust Dan Garner to do my nutrition. So it's like I think it's just they trust me that I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna come. Like no one's got to say, hey, why aren't you at the gym? Hey, you need to show up early. I would get to the gym 30 minutes before every practice to warm up before the warm up. It's just I've learned that over the years. I need to do that, prevent injuries, and that's just how it is. But yeah, Tim and I's relationship just works. We're just we like I said, we play Call of Duty together. We'll hit together. They like that one, Shmini?
Together.
Together. We'll play Call of Duty. Call of Duty together. We've lived together. When I first moved to Arizona, we lived together for probably 3-4 years. I didn't know how to do laundry. I didn't know how to do dishes. My mom did everything for me. So when I first moved in, he was like, holy shit, this kid is fucking brain dead. He doesn't know how to do anything. So I think we just built a really cool relationship with him, kind of like taking me under his wing and just showing me how to live. And then we both kind of got into eating healthy around the same time. We both kind of got into, like, when he broke his jaw fighting, he started, learning about meditation. He's like, hey, I think this could really benefit you. And, so we bounce ideas off each other. We constantly are trying to improve in life. And if something's working for us, like, he'll tell me if something's working for me, or we read something out of a good book. We'll send it to each other. So we're constantly doing that on the daily. And then, yeah, we've been, friends for 10 years. We just have good chemistry. I trust him that he's gonna, in the corner especially, like I think you go back, watch the Peter fight, there was a couple times that he gave me really good advice, stutter step, throw that left hand over the top. That's what I rocked Peter with. Going into the third round, to trust that knee up the middle. That's what I cut Peter with. That's what I believe won me that fight. Even going to that Aljo fight, going into the second round, like we knew that the first, I even wrote it. It's funny. I wrote it the other day in my journal, because I journal pretty much every day in fight camp, and I'll put how many days out we are, and then I'll go back and look at like the last camp. What was I doing 43 days out compared to what I'm doing now? And I was like, in the journal, I wrote that the first couple rounds might be boring, but he's going to make a mistake. I'm going to capitalize on it, and I'm going to knock him out in the second round. I wrote that damn near word for word. And, Tim, in going into that second round, he's like, just he's going to have to commit, and you're going to counter. And, that's literally what can happen. So just trusted him in that aspect. Yeah. And he does a good job living what he, preaches as far as meditation, eating healthy, continuing to learn, reading, just, doing his thing. And he's growing his gym here. That's where we're at right now in the pod studios at Tim's gym. And he's built a really, really cool community at the gym. So yeah, just good vibes.
I think me and the wife are going to be out there, I believe, in a spring break for my kids' spring break. And I told Mike I might come out there and do a little grappling with Tim.
Dude, 100%.
And you as well. I might want to spar you just to feel some of that speed.
Let's do it.
I haven't sparred in a year, so you're going to have to take it easy on me. I'm not as good.
I feel like I'm a good, I feel like I'm a good partner. I feel like I'm very controlled. Depending on, sometimes you get a new guy coming to the gym and I'm sparring him and we're leading up to a fight. It's kind of a war sometimes. Like,
yeah.
I went to war on Friday.
Yeah.
But if we were pecking around in the cage, I feel like there's no injury worries. I feel like I'm a good partner. But yeah, grappling will be fun. You definitely got to come in and pop in.
Is Tim still competing in grappling, or is he just solely focused on being there for you and building his gym and the podcast?
No, he was training for, what the was it? Was it ADCC trial? He was training for something recently. Really, he was getting in good shape. He had something coming up, and he fucking shot a 3-pointer 45 minutes into our basketball and tore his Achilles 9 weeks ago. So he's in a boot right now. He's getting his boot off here before too long, but he got surgery right away. And then he got stem cells, and he's on peptides, and so he's trying to do everything he can to kind of come back as fast as possible. But yeah, he tore his Achilles. But he still wants to compete. He still loves coming in. We do competition training Monday and Friday, and fucking he's in there pushing, working hard.
Damn, I had a buddy who just tore his Achilles playing football. He's like 40. He just hit 40, and he was running around, and he's like, man, I was running around playing football, and I tore my Achilles. And he had surgery, and he's just now getting back to full-time training. He did the peptide. He didn't do stem cells because, I hear mixed feelings. Like, I've done stem cells before. I've had buddies who've done peptides, BPC 157 and TB 500, and they swear by it. and he was on that, and then now he said he feels completely back to normal. But man, I'm sorry to hear that about Tim, man. That's fuck. It's always funny. It's a sport that you don't do, you get injured from, right? He's playing basketball, he gets injured. My buddy's playing football, he gets injured. Nobody ever gets injured when they're just grappling or doing MMA training. I mean, obviously you do, but I mean, it's just always funny because I feel basketball and football, it's a lot more dynamic in the movement because you're trying to negate other people trying to take something from you. But damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Michael, I know you sitting there, you're chopping the bit. What you want to ask Sugar? We got him. What you want to talk to him about?
No, it isn't not as much a question as much as it's an observation. I just think it's cool that it's what's really cool about MMA is if you look at both you guys, you both are 135 champions. DJ, you got the 2 1 championship belts behind you. We have the UFC one right here. Same weight class, but Sean, completely different height, completely different length, and you also are 135 at DJ. I don't know what you list your height at, but I just think it's cool seeing 2 almost opposites of each other that are the same weight class and still champions in their respective promotions. So I thought it was a pretty cool observation.
That's what's so sweet about fighting. It's like it's not one way or the other. It's whoever wants to master their what their gift is or their ability, just mastering that, and that's one way. There's not one way to be champion. You can be champion in multiple different ways. It's cool. Yep,
preach. And people carry their weight different. Sean you're 5'6", 5'7".
I'm 5'11".
Oh, Jesus Christ! Huh? Hey, you know what, Sean? Don't take offense to that.
I'm skinny. No, I was kidding. I am about 5'11" though.
Okay, so you're not 5'11". Are you really 5'11"?
How tall are you?
Yeah, no, he's 5'11". I mean, I'm here. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Jesus
like 5'4".
Christ! Sometimes when you're 5'3", when you're 5'3", everything above like 5'5" feels like 6'1" or 6'2". All right, so please forgive me. So I mean,
I'm seeing that perfect hair too. You'd be jealous, DJ, if you were just looking at that height and the curls. Yeah. Oh man,
hey,
great.
When you get close to him, tell me how it smells tomorrow, okay?
It should smell good today. I shampooed, conditioned it. It should be fresh today. I even put deodorant on today for you. Rarely put deodorant. I always forget for some reason. I'm like, God damn it! I'm never like the stinky, but I'm like, I got a little. So I've been trying to be better about that. Hit a little deodorant.
Yeah. And one last question for me. We have a lot of stacked fights coming up, including your own, obviously. UFC 299. I mean, that might be an even better card than 300 to a lot of people. What fight are you most looking forward to other than your own coming up?
It's a good question. There's a lot of sweet fights coming up.
Yes.
Off the top, I know I'm actually pretty interested in Cody versus Figueiredo. That's a kind of be an interesting fight. I'm surprised Cody called him out. I think Figueiredo's probably going to shut his lights off for the 13th time in the last couple years. Ilia versus Volk, very excited about that fight. Henry Merab, kind of interesting.
Who do you got in that one, if you think?
Oh God, I really haven't. I think it's gonna be a competitive fight. If I had to guess, I think Merab gets it done. I think he's just in it more. I think Henry's coming back because he's broke. He doesn't have any money. He doesn't know what else to fucking do. If I had to guess. So I think Merab might get that one done. Connor Chandler, I don't know if that's happening. I keep hearing, that one. I said Ilia Volk. Yeah, Ilia Volk's fucking sick. Who's Paulo Costa fighting? Costa versus
Whitaker, yeah.
Whitaker, that's a sweet fight. Costa's always fun to watch.
If he makes it to the fight.
Very true. Very true. I want to watch Hamzat fight again.
Gaethje Holloway also.
Gaethje Holloway is an exciting fight. It's a good time to be a UFC fan. I know people are a little disappointed in some of the, Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. When they're like, we have an announcement, and it's like, people are wanting to hear like, Chocolate L's coming back, and they're like, Holly Holm, and people are like, but the UFC fan or the MMA fans are the fucking best in the world. Sometimes they're a little harsh, but they're the best.
Yeah. I forgot there was something else I want to talk about. Like, what do you think about like the fighters who are constantly talking about the Dana White privilege and all that stuff of the opportunities you get? Like, does it bother you at all, or are you kind of just like, oh, whatever?
Yeah, it's kind of whatever. I do think. I mean, it comes down to performances. It's like it's hard to argue. If I wasn't knocking people out and I was considered a boring fighter, and I was getting all these privileges. It's different, but I'm like, dude, I'm fucking putting people's lights out. I knocked Thomas Almeida out 7 times in one fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm doing sweet shit. There's nothing, you know. Dana's not in the octagon telling that guy to wait, let Sean punch you now. It's not like that. I'm putting in the work. I'm going in there and putting in the work. So it's like I don't really get it.
That's one thing I will say that about this sport is that you create the opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
Like every athlete gets the opportunity to get in the cage and, you know, do something amazing. That way people talk about you on Sunday and Monday and you're making it a top 10 countdowns of ESPN plays of the weekend, right? Like that's one thing I do miss when I was fighting was when I would come home after fucking, you know, throwing Ray Borg up in the air and you're in the airport and you're grabbing a beer. Next, you know, ESPN top 10 plays of the weekend. Oh, check this out, John. Look at this guy, 5'3", little boy, throwing this man in the air and catching him. It's like I created that opportunity, right? Dana 100%. Didn't do that. Hunter didn't do that. Nobody did that besides me and my team working extensively. So with Sean, you know, people say, oh, he gets Dana White purpose. Like, no, I'm in there and I'm knocking motherfuckers out. I'm in there putting on good fights against Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling. Like, we all get the opportunity. It's up for the athlete to be able to capitalize on performing under the bright lights. And that's what, you know, Sugar has done. He's just so sweet. He's been able to do that time and time. And then hopefully when he fights Chito, he can create another opportunity. And then him and Ilia Topuria can lock up and then he get the opportunity to become a champ. And I mean, right now it's a great time to be a fan of mixed martial arts because there was a little lull in it, my personal opinion, where, you know, for me, I get invested. There's so many great fighters in the world, so many. Yeah. But for me, I get invested in people's storyline. Like Sean, I'm invested in your storyline because one, we've gamed together, we work together. Two, I love your brand, I love your style, I love how you carry yourself, and I want to see where you go from here, right? Same thing with Ilia Topuria, same thing even with Cody. I mean, the list just goes on, even the Connor. But I love the storylines, right? And so for me, I think there's a lot. The Holloway versus Gaethje, a lot of storylines coming up in the next couple months that are making it exciting for me in mixed martial arts to watch.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I thought for sure they were gonna do like Izzy versus DDP. What if they did Hamzat versus DDP? I don't know. I don't know if Hamzat's necessarily there yet to be like main eventing UFC 300, but I'm running out of ideas. If Connor's not it, John Jones isn't it. Yeah, like Izzy's supposedly not it. It's like, who the are they gonna put there?
I think, I mean, like I said, I think they do Connor versus...
You turn around, Sean, just defend.
Hey, I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
win at 299 and then show for
There's 0% chance I'd make 135 again, but 145. No, I want the Sphere in Vegas, Ilia, September, Mexican Independence Day. That's kind of what I'm trying to manifest right now, but obviously I got to go through fucking Cheeto, very tough, durable Ecuadorian.
Yes, it's going to be sick. Sean, this is your chance to let the fans know where they can find you, your socials, your Twitch, the YouTube channel. Go let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, pretty much Sugar Sean on everything is kind of what will pop up. But yeah, pretty much just grinding on the Snapchat right now. Pretty much doing daily vlogs on that. And then, I streaming a couple times a week. I think it's just Sean O'Malley UFC on Twitch or something like that. But for the most part, just buy the pay-per-view, UFC 299, March 9th. Knocking Cheeto out again.
He said again. I love it. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to our guest, Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean O'Malley. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and also hit the bell to know when we drop another banger. And ladies and gentlemen, this was a fun one. I always enjoy talking to Sugar when I get the opportunity to talk to him. We appreciate you guys. We out.
You're the man, DJ.
Peace.
Keep rolling.
Boom. Chop that up. Bang. Bada bang.
Boom.
Sweet. Hell yeah. DJ, thank you, brother. I thought that was a fucking absolute banger.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Sean. Yeah, I always enjoy.
We'll definitely have you or go on your show as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Same setup.
Love that. Yeah, I think this is perfect. This is a nice little setup right here. Felt like we were damn near hanging out.
That's right. Man, stay healthy, man. I'm excited for your fight against Cheeto. And
yes, sir.
I love what you've done and the brand. It's just amazing. Like now that I'm at the end of my career, it's like I'm grateful I've started to work on the YouTube and all that stuff. But I think it's so awesome that you've already started and you just became the champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have 6 years, 7 years to fucking just build the empire, like, and just fucking cash out, man.
Yeah. That's the plan, baby. All right, DJ, you have to go. I'm going to go stretch a bit before we have to sit down and for another hour pod. Appreciate you, bro. Peace.